All right. We are up and ready, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone feeling today? You guys all
Hello.
doing good?
I am doing fine.
Very nice. I have the wrong fuck. God damn. Every time I forget something. I forget something. Hold on. Let me fix that.
Oh,
Tabletop.
Stop
There we
forgetting
go.
stuff.
There's always, oh wait, why is that broken? Oh, because I didn't, okay. Yeah, don't worry guys. I had this all set up for an hour beforehand and I still don't have things set up. Huh?
press X to doubt, friends.
Okay, last I remember, we had all just finished up. We had all just finished beating the warden down in the basement of the funhouse.
Down in the depths of hell. You know how it is. All right, here we go. And back to nope. Yes, back to this one. There we go. And all the way down. I said all the way down. There we go. All right, we are
down and down.
Actually prepped and prepared. Here we go. Hopefully everything else is prepped and prepared, but we shall see. Let me know if it isn't. But hello and welcome, dear spirits, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. Today I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and we shall be continuing the tale of Tyrant's Wrath. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. If you have not checked out the players for Tyrants before, please go ahead and do so. They are awesome. Ania is, of course, played by Story, and Dakota is played by Colty. If you guys want to know more about the heroes of our story currently, feel free to just type in any of that, and I will pin this message to the top of the chat, which hopefully that's not hard to deal with. Okay. Maybe. I don't know if that's easy to scroll through. It probably is. So you guys, last time that we were here, last week, you guys got to the Ancient Grove, a place of horrors and possible kindness, and it's a tree that was rumored to have been placed by an actual god themselves. But as you guys have gotten to this tree, it looks sick, infected. Almost like it's trying to purge itself of some kind of disease running through it, but it can't quite get there. You guys have gone down into the depths, with Ania, I believe, feeling hurt. How would you say Ania is feeling with that, Ania?
Upset and furious?
That'll work. She's feeling upset and furious of all the motherfuckers who've decided to fuck up her tree, because it is not gonna
Apparently
go well.
It's my tree now.
It's her tree now. You guys fuck with it, you're gonna get guided bolted to the chest. But you guys head down.
Get off my lawn.
Pretty much. You guys head down into the depths, down the staircase. You guys got to a small room, probably about 20, 30-ish feet in total, left to right and stuff like that. So a fairly small room. There was a couple displacer beasts and a absolute metric shit ton of spiders up top, which was not very pleasant for Gelmar. Dakota also got spooked every now and again and turned into a high elven form for a little bit there, as odd as that may seem considering their general outfit and clothing choices. But you guys have managed to, you guys killed one of the displacer beasts quite handily. And the other one, you pretty much convinced the spiders that they were a better prey. So the spiders decide, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna eat this guy, because he keeps killing us. So they followed it down the second set of stairs. You guys stopped for a second to find a small ring, which gave you a small bonus to your AC. I believe it was given to Sapphire, thank you. But I believe it's given Sapphire, and in theory, it also has some kind of long-lasting effect based on the skeleton that you guys found it on. But you guys decide to go further down, because staying around a giant horde of spiders is no one's favorite story time. And you guys head down into what seemed like a mausoleum of labyrinth-like pillars and flooring, all stone, oddly enough. The vines from the tree are crawling down the pillars all around you. And you guys head forwards with Sapphire's ability to track, as well as Dakota, I think, your ability, one of those. But you guys basically just kept tracking the enemies. Ania, you found a lot of different symbols about, I believe, druidic runes. If I recall correctly, they basically say a whole bunch of things like danger ahead, more or less, if I recall correctly.
Danger ahead, snake. They mentioned snakes.
Very
Motion
many
and
snakes.
poison.
And then you guys got to a crossroad of sorts. It's 4 different pathways, pretty much identical in almost all their forms. The first one, hold on, I have notes. Where's my notes? There's my notes. Okay, if you could load faster, that would be lovely. There we go. Okay. So the first one, it seems to just be generally the same. I believe it had spider blood going down that path. The second one, you guys could hear the dripping of water into what seemed like a pond. The third one seems to have had the Displacer Beast's blood leading into it. And the fourth one seemed to just be an average everyday path. To the best of Ania's knowledge, given her elven history, the first path is almost always a trap. The second path is, second path is usually a trap with something behind it. Third path is usually where you want to go, and fourth path is usually where you want to go if the person who built it was being spiteful. So you guys decided to choose the fourth. Huh?
You said the second path was a rest area.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you said.
I thought the
Well,
the
we'll
second
go with that.
one was the resting. Yeah.
Second one
Yeah.
was a rest area. But yeah, generally speaking, oh yeah, right. The first one is usually an illusion path. Second one is usually a rest area. Third one is the general path forwards, and fourth path is if the person who built it was a spiteful bitch. Which
Sometimes
honestly,
good, sometimes the shit.
go down this path if you're an ass. But you guys decided to go down the fourth path just in case the person who built it was being a spiteful bitch. As you guys went down the path, nothing seemed out of the ordinary till you got to a very small room with one exit out of the room, and of course the pathway that you guys just came from, and a significant quantity of sarcophagi around you. Probably it's like another 30-foot room, so it's a very small room, very, very small. There's probably like 6, maybe 7 sarcophagi around you guys, and they are filled with what seems to be snake-shedded skin. I don't remember what else I said was in this room.
Is this like one big hide, or are we talking like several snakes?
In some of the sarcophagi, in one of them, it's slightly cracked open. It has a lot of snake skin. And another one, which is a little bit more open, it's one giant snake skin, so a person-sized snake skin. And then most of the other ones are closed.
Okay.
You guys do see a lot of serpent symbolization around the room, pretty much like embedded in the walls or even carved out of the walls. There's a lot of different snake symbols or just serpent imagery. This looks like, especially to Cyril, this looks like a crypt almost, like where you would put like valuable people. That's where we are today. Let's go and we're just gonna go in left to right order based on what I can see on my screen here. Ania, how's your character feel? And tell me kind of how her mind is going right now.
So currently, Ania is still semi-trapped behind Cyril and Gelmar for her own benefit, but she's like leaning over and like looking and like leaning to the left, looking over Cyril's shoulder, trying to look around his side, and she wants to go in there and investigate right now, but she cannot. She is penned in and is also trying to be smart about it because they did hear something with chains down this hallway, which she assumes to not be good. She is currently bamboozled and wants to get in there to investigate.
Cyril, how do you feel? What is going on in your character's mind right now?
There's equal amounts of duty and
Mm-hmm.
mounting anger.
Mm. Okay.
And the chain sounds like Ania was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How far into the room can we see? We can see all the way through the other side?
Yeah, you guys can see the whole room. It's dim light, but you guys can see from front to back because it's such a small room. There is one exit and one entrance, and you guys just came from the entrance. The exit is about 15 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
All right, Gelmar, some
Definitely
question
gonna
to you real
like
quick.
edge into the room
Okay.
with Gelmar and stuff.
Mhm.
And any investigating that Ania wants to do, probably going to help her.
Mm-hmm. Now, Gelmar, how do you feel, and what is going on in your character's mind right now?
Well, we already know that the individuals within this facility are dangerous, so he's a little bit more wary.
Mhm.
But also, where the heck are the god fighters?
Yeah, fair.
Big deal.
Dakota, how are you feeling? What's going on in your character's mind?
So I remember when we ended the last episode, you had like us roll like an Arcana thing. Dakota noticed something like really
I did.
weird about here. So Dakota is he's gonna be very careful about things. He's already got his true strike on. He's gonna be kind of like sticking to the walls as he carefully goes forward and is just like looking about at everything.
Okay.
I recall Sin said that with the Arcana check, you were able to tell the path was safe, but something about the chains was really unsettling you.
How is it? Thank you. Yeah, the third path, the chains were clearer. The sound of it was clearer. The fourth
No.
path, they were louder, if I remember correctly.
Reverse.
Oh, reversed? Okay. Yeah, third path, they were louder. Third path, they were more clear. Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
you said the same thing.
Did I just say the same? God damn.
In reverse, though. The fourth path.
Just fucking go back, take my words, flip them around. There you go. That just doing your head, ladies.
The fourth path was clearer, and the third path was louder.
There you go. Listen to her. There we go. So that was the
Yeah.
Arcana check you got.
Yeah, so Dakota's kind of trying to figure out where the chains like sounds like might be like coming from, but he's very carefully going around. He's investigating things from a distance and sticking.
Okay, definitely it's coming from the exit, about 15 some feet away from you. It's reverberating from there. Rue, what is your character thinking? How are they feeling?
Definitely impacted by just the feeling of what's kind of been going on here.
Mhm.
The tree's health, but also kind of, is Dakota still in their other form now?
I think you turned back into a dragonborn.
Yeah, I turned back into a dragonborn after we finished the fight from last time.
I see. Okay.
I'm very also not making eye contact with anybody about it, nor have I mentioned it.
Okay. Then Rue is definitely keeping by you and is slightly watching you, and also just kind of being like, she also thinks about the chain sounds that you had been talking about. It does just kind of following you around, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm also the chains too." but also just trying to
It's
stick
just
by
Rue being right next to him, be like, I hear them too, kind of. And it's just like Rue's not even focusing on them; she's just staring at them.
No, nothing of this. I can't
Since-
identify anything. I'm not good at that.
Actually, since Rue wasn't here last time, Rue didn't get the chance to make any sort of Arcana or religion checks. Would she get
Oh.
to make any?
Let
Like, would
me look at character real quick.
I'm not good at Arcana.
No.
I mean,
This
I
is
mean,
true.
like, we are in a crypt, so I figure maybe some godly stuff.
Oh, that's fair.
Down here would not be any symbols you're familiar with. Just because this is definitely for your character specifically, Rue. You know the difference between sacred ground and unsanctified ground. There's a word for it that I can't think of off the top of my head. Hallowed ground, is that the word, or is that
hallowed ground,
Hallowed ground.
and basically non-hallowed ground.
Yeah. So you know the difference between the two. Essentially, one is more or less God touched and the other one isn't. Almost all clerics are familiar with this kind of feeling. It's kind of how a lot of clerics will differentiate each other from the general area. A lot of clerics will be able to tell that other people are clerics just because they have a different feel to them. They have a different existence to them. But it's the same thing with God touched locations, with God touched items, and pretty much anything that's deity related. Most clerics are able to tell just from feel. So in this entire area, it's really weird to you because it keeps shifting. To the best of your knowledge, this was a God touched location. This area itself was essentially sanctified ground that was placed here by an actual god. Effectively, it's as God touched as you are. And yet, every now and again, it stops feeling that way. It feels closer to like false ground, where like you've been to a couple of churches where they worship a god, but there's nothing there. That's kind of what this is feeling like every now and again. It just stops feeling like hollowed ground.
Okay. Then I probably know what to ask my friend next time.
Interesting. All right, Sapphire. How's your character feeling, and what's going on in their mind?
I would say Sapphire is cautious about what could
Mhm.
pop out or anything that could happen. She's just going forward with cautiousness, and then she's also very curious about the room that we're currently in.
Okay. So you guys slowly maneuver your way into this room. Again, it's not particularly large, so all of you kind of fit into the area. You're about halfway up to the between the exit and the entrance. Pretty much the entire crypt, like 20 feet of crypt or so, is, if you're looking at the exit, it's to your right. And so you guys can walk over there, look at all that stuff you want to, or you can just beeline straight down the path. Up to you.
Nia's definitely
I
want to
look at things.
Cool. So two of you move forwards.
Yes.
Well, we're looking around the crypt.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, both of you.
Okay. And one thing Ania's looking for. Oh, actually, how long has it been since we entered the tree?
How long has it been since what?
We entered the tree.
Probably 20 minutes.
Okay, so I still have advantage.
Yeah.
Cool. And
Yeah,
Ania
you guys haven't
is...
spent a whole lot of time down here, mostly because you just been moving on forwards.
A little bit rushed, I could imagine.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Did not.
Oh my god! That's amazing! I'm not even mad. That's incredible.
And a natural
Can happen to other
20!
people. Oh my god.
We have
That's superb.
guys, we have achieved a new D&D goal. We have achieved a new D&D goal with me and D. So we've had in the past our D&D goals that I've had is a double natural 1 on advantage, which we already had from 0. A double natural 20 on disadvantage, which I feel bad. Grail achieved. I got a triple natural 20 at one point in a completely different campaign I've been. So those are 3 major achievements. But I have never had. Oh, and the 4th achievement is a natural 20 rolled against a natural 20 at the exact same time. That was in my last campaign. But I've never had a double natural 1 next to a natural 20. never I've never seen it happen. I've never seen a campaign where it's happened before. So first time for a DM celebration. I don't know, I don't have any celebration music, but play celebration music, I guess. There you go. Fucking amazing. Okay, so
That's incredible.
it's so wild. In fact, you managed to one up Cyril on a fucking advantage.
First roll of the
natural
campaign today, double natural 1.
and
Love
the
it.
second roll being natural 20. What the fuck? Okay. God, that's wild.
Oh, Sapphire got a natural 20. Good job,
yeah.
Sapphire.
Tell me, Ania, what do you see with your special eyes?
Sia sees too much and collapses.
So you have, as I've stated a few times now, you have a deep connection to this tree, right? You have a incredible connection, and you're looking around, and you are feeling. How do I put this? The tree is very similar right now to someone with a severe infection. Is how you would kind of categorize it in your head. This is like a severe infection, like you gotta start lopping off some limbs kind of infection going all the way through it. When you were outside and touching the tree, you were able to feel it plead, essentially, for you to help it. While you were down here, and you are more or less within the belly of the beast, so to speak, you are feeling this tree not just speak to you, but it flows through you at the moment. That both gives you the innate knowledge that there is something up ahead, for sure. There's people up ahead. But it also gives you the same feeling as this tree, in that right now, your entire left arm is in excruciating pain, because you are basically feeling this tree's infection in your body. Your perception is so heightened right now that you are literally feeling the tree's pain.
All right. That's awesome. So Ania is doing her usual thing of looking around, and she usually holds her staff with both hands. She's only holding it with one right now. Her left hand she just has sort of hanging at her side, and the fingers of it are tense. Like when she's not like clenching her hand, but the fingers are tense.
Mhm.
And she's looking around at all these crypts, and she looks like she's looking for something, but she cannot focus at all. And she's like squinting at everything and just going in one ear, out the other right now, whatever she's looking at.
And then Sapphire, with that natural 20, you see a few things. First off, you see that the very fingertips of Ania's left arm are slowly turning black. Is very disconcerting. The second thing you notice is that these various different crypts in front of you, they are set up in ways that you are very familiar with. They're set up just like you would set up a trap to catch a rabbit. This is clearly designed to make people wander into the crypts, and they will get punished for it.
Wow.
Is remarkably well set up in that it to an untrained eye, especially to an eye of someone who isn't a well-trained specialized hunter, this just looks like a fairly regular crypt, or even a place where you might, get jewels or gems or something like that. In fact, you do see quite a few treasure pieces. You see a couple, a few piles of gold coins just buried inside of there. You see a few, like a ruby, and you see you even see a diamond packed away in there, like it's glinting off some bioluminescent light. This is, you would argue, the perfect trap. And the only way you recognize it is the fact that you would do something like this if you were hunting people.
Ignore the shinies. They're traps.
Just the shinies?
I'm a little more focused on the prospect of
Anything in the-
spiders
in
out
the-
here.
In the crypts or sarcophagi?
In the behind the sarcophagi, a little bit to the right of them, they're just placed so it's hard to see them unless you get a really good angle or you move the sarcophagi. But you get like really good angles and stuff, so it's like slightly behind the sarcophagi.
Ooh, that's concerning. Does someone want to check the entranceway with me to make sure it's not gonna trap us? And I'm gonna go over there.
There's people up ahead. I don't know how far.
Oh.
It definitely leads somewhere, though.
If there's people up ahead, I mean, would it make sense to trap us here?
I don't
Only,
know.
only if they have an ulterior manner of getting out, I suppose.
Dakota, roll me a perception check real quick.
Okay. Perception.
I would love if you got now natural. Oh my god!
Oh, it's gonna be that kind of night tonight.
Oh, what a good day. Oh no.
We're in trouble.
121. Holy crap.
We've rolled 4 times and they've all been 20s or 1s.
Did you guys
We
curse
had
the
this-
dice god or something?
We
Are
had
we
this
okay?
happen. We had this happen back when I rolled double nat ones, and it was a rough night that night.
Are we okay? Yo, are we good? Did you guys like curse ancient deities? Did you like set a fire in the backyard or something?
We get all the nat ones
Totally.
out now. We'll be fine later.
Yeah, we're getting them all out now.
This is how my luck usually this is how my luck usually goes forward. It's really weird that it's happening to everybody else now. What the crap?
All right, so Dakota, you, God, I how, I
Say
can't.
you're
I've never had to
handling
deal
these
with this
nat
many
ones and-
ones before.
you're handling them really well, though.
Thank you. I've never had to deal with this many criticals in a row before. God, I keep throwing things.
And this is the oneiest of a nat one right here.
I know, right? So, Dakota, you are not connected to this tree at all.
No.
Not at all, not in the slightest. You are hyper focused on yourself. None of their shit means nothing to you right now. Pretty much at all. You do see the shinies. You see a few of the shinies. You see a very, very nice looking diamond. It is a beautiful looking diamond. And it looks like it might just be in just enough range for you to get it without tripping any of the scarf guy. You also, you can also hear the sounds of, you would say hissing somewhere. It's either behind you from the way you came, it's either in front of you, where you want to go, or it's right behind Cyril. You're not really sure. It's somewhere.
Well, I think at this current moment, I think Dakota would hear Sapphire say that the shinies are traps, and I'm in hunting mode right now, which means I hear the hissing, and I'm just immediately looking. I'm immediately gonna try and find it, you know.
And I started blasting.
Started blasting.
Mhm.
Alright, so you guys just seeing Dakota start freaking the fuck out, just like turning around, like looking everywhere, like their heads snapping from left to right, trying to find something.
Well,
Would I have heard the hissing as well?
100% is down the hall.
What? Okay, it's
You know what?
on the
Screw
hall in
it.
front of us,
What was that?
You know what?
not behind us.
No.
Okay,
know-
so it's in front of us. Okay.
And
You know
Gumman?
what? Screw it. I think it's time I run a perception check just simply from how on edge everyone's
I
getting.
want to see another nat
God.
one. I swear to
Galmar,
God.
so your perception
Funny.
check.
I don't know how I'm going fucking rolling. Okay, thank God.
Okay.
I can't see the roll yet. What is it?
It's a 14.
I'm not.
Oh,
Or
nice.
19. Oh my God. Okay,
Plus
so
5.
a roll I can do non-fancy shit. So you're able to hear the chains. They're definitely further ahead of you in the down the hallway. Same as Sapphire could hear. You do not see any of the traps or anything like that of the sarcophagi. They just look like regular coffins, basically. And you're hearing a very faint hissing down the hallway. Same with the chains.
Ania was
Ania.
more interested in the chains anyway.
Ania, you
Yes.
have Draconic accented. That is
Yes.
a variation of the Yanti's
Yanti.
language, right?
And she is actually, I think I forgot to say it, but she is looking for, when she originally did the perception check,
Mhm.
she's looking for writing that looks the same as the stuff in Roderick's castle.
Ooh, interesting. You're definitely not seeing this room.
Okay.
100% not seeing this room.
Yeah.
But I am gonna have you roll an insight check.
Okay. Let's see. And that is also wisdom.
Mhm.
Do I still get advantage, or has the advantage been negated by my double ones?
I'm gonna say your advantage was negated.
Okay, so
that
no longer
that double ones
enhanceable.
needs to penalize you somehow.
yeah, I'm fine with that. That's why I asked. Yeah, so we'll do normal roll. Okay, that's a little
That was
bit better.
almost a 2.
It's almost a 2.
Oh, hilarious. There's not a whole lot of things that are able to attract your focus right now, but the sounds of talking does. To everyone else, it's hissing, specifically hissing. To you, because of your accented Yanti knowledge, you're getting bits and pieces. Sometimes it sounds like a part of a snake, sometimes like almost rattles and stuff like that. But every now and again, you're able to translate bits and pieces of it for the best of your knowledge. You're hearing bits of stuff like you're hearing prisoner at one point. You're hearing move aside, and you're hearing what do. And then one of the ones that sticks out to you is elf. That one you know very, very well.
Okay, and another thing, let me check really quick. Where is it? There it is. How long has it been since we were in the spider room?
About 15 minutes. Maybe
Okay,
less.
so speak with animals is expired.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ania is sort of drifting towards Cyril and looks a little bit out of it.
Mhm.
And she's not looking at anyone, but she'll say, "They have an elf prisoner up ahead. There's Yanti. They don't know what to do with it. It doesn't seem like they're immediately killing them, though.
Elf prisoner.
Probably one of the people who was sent here by the ambassador."
No,
I think it's only one of
Ania's,
them.
Ania's saying this and looking sick all at the same time, right?
Yeah, she's like staring ahead. It's sort of like she's not there. She's not looking at anything. She's just sort of milling around Cyril and staring off and saying this aloud for everyone.
You would definitely notice that she's a little bit less gung-ho than she was a little bit earlier.
I'm gonna turn to Ania and be like, "Are you okay? You're turning black."
No, I'm not.
Everything hurts right now.
Should we slow down and rest?
No. It's not going to get any better.
Sounds like it's not.
Turning black.
Sounds like it's not getting much worse, except for you.
What can we do?
Nia sighs and like gestures around with her staff, and again, she's only using her right arm.
Mhm.
And she just goes like,
I'm a druid. This is a very sacred tree. I can talk with plants. The tree hurts. I hurt. Everything is too much. I perceive too much. I don't know what you can do to help.
But why are you turning black?
I don't know. And Nia will finally like lift her hand to try and look at her hand.
The fingertips about halfway down your to about halfway down your nail is just slowly just it's fading into a deep purple, and at the very tip of your fingers is just a solid black. Feels the same as usual though.
She'll like squint in her hand and carefully flip it back in or like back and forth to look at it, and it looks like it hurts her to move. And she'll be like,
I guess that's sort of how it looks like when blood supply is cut off. I don't know if it's superficial.
Can I take a look?
Yes, but the tree is the one in danger, not me.
and she'll offer her
But
hand
you're
up.
hurting right now. I want to help
If we
you
s-
right now.
If we stop the tree hurting, I'll stop.
You know, it don't hurt. Just a little bit of a look.
And she'll hold her
She'll-
hand out.
She'll carefully grab her hand and
Mhm.
take a look.
Are you sure this is all going to fade away the moment we clear away the tree's ailment?
Rue, roll me a
happened?
medicine check.
The tree is
Very sick. Just removing a poison doesn't mean the body immediately recovers. But if I'm away from the tree, probably, for me.
So Rue, you can tell it's not like a wound you've seen a couple of different wounds. Gelmar, this actually applies to you a little bit better. Your first thought when you saw her hand was frostbite. You can in just a moment. But your first thought was frostbite, but it doesn't have the normal characteristics of frostbite where like it becomes hard as rock. Rue, you're more used to like poisons and stuff like that, especially in the past, especially when you cross-reference your book. This doesn't have most of those telltale signs. If anything, it feels like a normal hand. She does flinch pretty hard when you poke at the end, but that's normal if you have like a deep cut or anything like that. It just looks like pretty much if she slammed her hand into a door. Just much worse.
And you didn't hit your hand?
no.
Okay. It's nothing that I can understand with regular medical knowledge. I'm thinking maybe it is the connection with the druids in the tree.
It almost looks like frostbite to me. I see it all the time on the mountains.
Right? But it's not.
And then you're
And Nia, like-
welcome to insight Ania, I believe you were trying to do, Gelmar.
Ooh, you were?
Yes.
Ooh. Finally, someone insights me. Finally, the day has come. What are you
Unfortunately,
inciting?
I am garbage.
What are you
Oh, no,
inciting?
I
Tell me. What are you trying to suss?
Mostly just trying to suss. Is this actually going to do anything good for you, or is this just going to keep getting worse?
Let me think with a
It's a-
7.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a 7. I probably don't even get anything.
I mean, you're gonna get something as an insight.
Mhm.
Right now, from what you can tell from Ania, she looks almost annoyed or bored. You don't think it's quite boredom, but it's something. She doesn't look very worried about it though, and you probably can't tell if it's like because she should probably be worried about it and is not for some reason, or if it's actually not an issue.
Cool.
I'll let go of
So
her
is this
hand.
insistence we should hurry up then? And he says, giving her a more stern look.
Well, that's what I've been saying, but everyone has decided to stop to look at my hand.
The
He just starts-
Sapphire,
Yep.
what were you saying?
It's like, because we care about you.
And Cyril?
The path ahead, the
Uh-huh.
exit, is that lit?
That's actually a really good question. Hold on just one moment. I have to see whether or not Yanti have night vision. They do. Just by bioluminescence. Although there is a little bit brighter than it is over where you are. The bioluminescence seems a little bit stronger over there.
And then
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Ania, you said there's someone else down there?
Enya will point her staff towards the hallway again, seeming happier to be talking about whatever is going on rather than herself. And she'll be like, there's Yonti there, or at least people who can speak the Yonti language. I know bits and pieces of it. I can't fluently speak it, but I've gathered bits and pieces in my research and my study. But they're talking about an elven prisoner.
Dakota is going to be kind of inching further towards forwards.
Hmm.
He's like kind of crouching down. Looks kind of like he's about to go into stealth.
Dakota.
Sir. Back.
Can you get... How many of us can you get in there unseen?
Ooh.
Hold on, just double check that.
I want to say 3.
Yeah.
I wish someone in the party could cast darkness.
You can cast invisibility or every.
Wait.
Oh, were you talking about invisibility, or were you talking about a different
Yeah.
spell?
I am talking about invisibility, but I really badly wish somebody could cast darkness.
Fair. If memory
I got
serves,
passed without
for
a
every
trace, but that's not going to help much.
Mm-hmm.
if memory serves, invisibility for every level for every slot level you use above its base, that is one additional person you can apply the effect to.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm at most 5, but that's gonna take a lot out of me.
I can stay here. I feel
If you give me
something
my
is
cloak, I
different.
can use that.
That's true.
And then that's one less person
Hmm.
to cast invisibility on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry
I'll stay
about
here.
me. Like I said, I'm not exactly a silent and walker.
That's true.
Visibility won't help
Uh,
Gelmar and Rue very much.
Pass without a trace will mask me and my companions from detection, meaning silence and veil of shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be help. That would make that work a lot better.
Yep. Anyone who doesn't have invisibility on them effectively gets a +10.
Oh,
Who doesn't have invisibility?
Yeah, if you have invisibility on you, you pass almost all perception checks unless they have very specific like blind sight and stuff.
Right. So
Mhm.
I think what would be useful now is catching them unawares.
Mhm.
And he's gonna put the shield back onto the spear.
Mhm.
Think
Anyway.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
if Dakota could cast invisibility on myself and Gelmar. And Sapphire, you said you had a cloak for that?
Dakota's currently wearing it, but yes.
And then Sapphire, you can do something about the noise that we make going down the hall. Correct?
Yeah.
I think if Gelmar If Gelmar, myself, and you can surprise them, then when everyone else hears the fighting start, they can run in and join. They can run in and provide backup.
Who will be able to understand the Yanti?
Nia sort of lifts her
Yeah.
staff a little bit.
She's coming as well?
What do you mean, understand them?
Oh, I don't know. Did they speak different language? Or no?
I was gonna say we heard them speaking in common primarily, right?
No,
Uh,
Ania was the only one that heard them.
Hmm.
Yeah, in the past,
retcon that.
in the past areas, you guys have heard, you guys have not actually heard a single Yonti speak anything aside from their hissing language. So Nia's the only
and she just said there
person.
were people up ahead. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
No,
and
no, she said there were Yanti up ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She said there's Yanti.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if they actually spoke common. They would speak something else.
I don't plan on interrogating them.
Listening in though?
Hmm.
Because didn't the snake monsters also speak snake?
Ania isn't like offering any of her own thoughts. She's just talking when spoken to, and she's just sort of sitting there spacing out.
Oh. But then
So you
again,
want to interrogate them? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, I did not say that.
Okay, so we're going to excise the infection, so to speak, and they are part of the germs.
I love
Are
that
we
terminology.
sure? This land here, these coffins here, they were blessed by and sanctified a long time ago, and the tree has been keeping them here. Yes, so I'm thinking maybe there's something bigger than just the Yanti being very evil. At least the ones here, or
Agreed.
is that wrong?
I agree with Hithru. I suspect that we would, at the very least, have something we could gain from questioning them. Besides, I'm still not exactly on board with just executing all of them.
Why not?
They have invaded
Why
hallowed ground.
not?
How
Well,
many other individuals have he straight have slaughtered for very little reason? It feels
And look at the
like too
coffins.
many.
Yeah, look at how these are placed here. If they're, I mean, it seems like they are almost feel right to be here, if not in a trap-like layout.
Fine. One gets to live. For as many questions as they're willing to answer.
Yavar still looks a little uncertain by that answer.
Ania's not offering any mediator services at this time.
Nia's out of order.
Hey, please put in another
I
silver.
speak with animals if that will help.
Yeah, that would be
A
good.
while to speak with animals worked on Yonti.
I wish to
That would
speak
be-
your language. Hiss.
I mean, like when the snakes during that battle in the village worked.
Mhm.
Yeah, it worked
that's
on
why.
the regular normal snakes.
Yeah.
I believe.
Let's just try it out so we have no regrets on the outcome of what we find.
Either way, I got a bounty.
If it eases
I
your
gotta figure
stomachs, yes, we will let one live for as long as we need them.
You are always the brutal one, he said, as once again taking his defensive stance.
All right. So, Dakota, Who are you making invisible?
I believe it's me, Cyril, and someone else.
Cyril suggested Gilmar, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Galmar can do the most damage in a single swing.
Gut punch.
And also,
Yeah.
I think it's a good
One
layout.
punch.
Yeah, it's a good layout for different opinions.
Hmm?
It's a good layout for different opinions too.
I know. I can't
Options?
just sneak in there and cut a throat.
Okay.
I like to think like when I cast invisibility, I do like I roll the barrel again.
Mhm.
And I kind of like shoot upwards, but it's like a silent thing as like a dark fog comes out and envelops us.
Ooh, I like it. Okay. And then Sapphire, of course, you have your cloak back from Dakota, so you will get advantage on hiding checks and
Do I? He never said he gave it back to me.
I'll give it back. Yeah.
I assumed as much.
Yeah.
Rick is not that mean of a DM.
Well, I'll take away. Yeah, I'll take away your hands, but I'll leave your cloaks.
It's gonna leave me with 6 spell points.
Yep. So yeah, you have your thing. I'm
Okay,
assuming you're using
so-
Pass Without Trace.
Who's that? Is that gonna work on everybody besides me?
Yeah.
Since they're invisible.
It will
It's
technically
AoE around you.
It will technically work on invisible people. Their bonuses just effectively don't matter because they're invisible. But you will get a bonus to yourself, Rue, and Nia as long as people stay within 30-ish feet of you, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I cast Pass Without a Trace.
Cool.
And Nia defaults to following behind Sapphire, looking out of it.
Can I go ahead while they're gonna do that? I start ritually casting divination to try to start a conversation with friend.
Ooh, interesting. Ritual spells do take 10 minutes to cast.
I'm not sure if it'll be done with it, but we can always just do it.
Fair enough.
Rue, get in here. We're dying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay next time, friend.
Next time, buddy, I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Yep.
All right, you start attempting to ritual cast it, trying to see how long it takes. The Sapphire spell kind of goes off, and around you guys, a small, almost transparent mist appears. To the rest of you who are invisible, as you look back, it's kind of hard to see your teammates, but they are there, and you guys start moseying down along the path. It takes only a couple of minutes. But you guys end up in I'm just gonna read this bit here because I do like it quite a bit. Once you guys head down this path, the atmosphere gets heavier, almost an actual physical weight upon your shoulders. The air itself is damp, seems to cling to your lungs with every breath, and sounds of this distant hissing noises reverberate throughout the area. You guys are being able to hear it a little bit better. And Ania, you're still only getting bare words every now and again. Usually it's just small talk, it sounds like. But after a couple of minutes of walking, you guys do manage to get into a bigger opening. And there you see 2 Yanti guardsmen standing at the entrance of this area. There's another one directly to their left. But they seem not to really care too much about it. They are talking amongst themselves, not able to hear you guys in the slightest, especially given Pass Without Trace. Beyond them, you see a bunch of cells set up along the walls made of sturdy iron bars. The floor itself is slightly sloped, so several small puddles are formed on the ground, and most of the ground itself is slippery. Within the cells is a floor made of straw, damp and moldy. Not much is within these areas. There seems to only be a couple of people, 2 high elves of their clothes obviously distinguish them as quite highborn. And then there's 2 of them. There's a wood elf and a what seems to be a high elf without any high clothing. It looks almost like just a general peasant kind of clothing. So very strange. But one of them, the kind of peasant high elf, is coughing quite hard. Aside from that, he is pretty much completely unresponsive, and he looks quite sick.
The two highborn are in the same cage,
Yes.
and the wood elf and the peasant are each in the same cage, or do they each have their own?
They're in the same cage on directly to the left of the highborns. There is another entrance about 40 some feet away from you guys. That is clearly just going deeper in, but it doesn't seem like most use it very often. It's very, very unused.
Okay. Trying to visualize this in my head here.
Yeah. At the moment, you guys have just two simple guardsmen. They seem to be decently armored, standing at the front of this entrance, probably about 5-10 feet away from you guys. Just talking amongst themselves, essentially, just doing small talk. They don't seem to care much about the people in front of them. There doesn't seem to be anyone else that you can see at the moment, but you can only see about 20-30 feet in front of you. 20 feet with the blind sight, about 30 feet with the bioluminescence, and there's not a whole lot you can see.
So, Gelmar hears in his head,
Mhm.
You and I will take the two guards that are next to each other. And then I'm gonna tell Dakota and Sapphire to gang up on the one guard that's further away.
Mm. Okay.
Because they have better range than the two of us, and between Gelmar and myself, we should be able to handle the two of them until it gets back around to Dakota and Sapphire to provide support to where we are. Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Because it will simply terminate our unseen advantage, but it seems a decent start.
And by the way, make sure that one of them survives.
Yes,
Lethal
sir.
damage.
I love how
Dakota,
defeated he sounds saying that.
and then Dakota, you are fully aware that your gun is loud. Sapphire, however, has a bow, which is significantly quieter than your gun.
Are Dakota's spells loud because of the gun? Like, is that a thing?
The spell, so the gun acts just as a conduit, basically. The spells themselves have their own, depending on the spell, it has its own sound, basically.
Okay, so there's no like, it's not like because of the gun now like Eldritch Blast has like a thunderous boom that like rings out for 500 feet.
No.
Come to think of it, we've been under invisibility to some degree for a long, long time. Am I saving the assumption that most of our characters probably know that's how invisibility works?
Yeah.
Okay. Still though, I do have another thought. I do actually have a side weapon that would probably be a lot quieter I could loan her, considering I'm never going to use this thing.
What is it?
Fair enough.
It turns out I got a hand crossbow as my starting sub weapon. I was planning to grab a set of hand axes, but I'm fairly certain a warlock could use this.
Well, does Dakota know how to use it though?
You would probably be
light
unfamiliar
crossbow?
with it, but he could teach you.
A light crossbow? I'm pretty sure it's in their proficiencies.
Is that
like
martial or is that a
martial
simple
arts.
weapon?
I think that's a martial, but let me double check that.
I think
It's a
Dakota
simple
can
weapon.
hang.
It's a simple weapon, actually.
Oh,
it says
simple. Yeah, you have you know how to use it, Dakota.
Yeah, okay. It's like a gun with arrows.
Yep.
Yep.
I could actually make the moment to send Dakota a message. If noise is a bit much of a concern, I might have something else that can help. He says by slowly handing her a light crossbow and a small pouch full of 20 bolts.
Nice.
Or him.
Thank you, sir.
Need to give me a minute here. Send to Dakota. I wonder if that included the bolts. Probably didn't. I have to.
Yeah, I don't believe that
Yeah, I might
includes
have
the
to send
bolts.
those separately.
All right. Where'd those things go?
Nice. Sapphire.
Here we go.
With your superior vision, you are able to see the opposite end of the room. And as Cyril suspected, there are 2 guards on the opposite end of the room who are protecting the doorway on that side. Yep.
Okay.
How many-
I guess I would tell Cyril using whichever stone it is. So, what about the 2 other guards? At the far end of the room.
All right, so out of character, there's 5 guards.
4. There are 2 standing at the entrance and then 2 standing at the exit, completely parallel.
Okay.
What about the one that he was sending us to? That would be 5.
I figured that was the one on the opposite end of the room that Cyril can't see.
I'm so confused now. I thought you said we could see I thought you said we could see 3 of them, and are there 2
There
more?
was one that was like being ignored or something.
So in front of you guys, so there's 2 standing at the entrance, right? And then there is the unconscious high elf wearing more or less peasant clothes, the wood elf protecting him, the 2 high elves in the other cage, and then across the whole room that only Sapphire can see is the other 2 guards.
Do I recognize them? Have I seen them?
Yes, you and Nia would both recognize them.
Oh, so I didn't know there was 2 guards at the other end.
You did not know. You can't see that far.
Okay. So when we've come out of this hallway from the crypts, and are the guards just like in front of us, or are they like horizontal?
They're just in front of you. They're looking at the elves essentially.
Okay, and we can sort of look past them, and there's guards behind them.
Yes, as you look past them all the way to the opposite end of the room, where the exit of this room is an identical passageway, and in front of that passageway are 2 guards.
Okay,
Yeah, so they're guarding both exits.
Yes.
Okay.
And the passengers are sort of off to the side.
Yeah, they're more or less in the middle of the room, kind of just in cages, easily being able to be seen by the guardsmen.
Oh, okay.
And only, I believe, Sapphire has dark vision. Does Rue have dark vision? You do. Rue and Sapphire, you can both see the guards on the opposite side of the room. The rest of you, it's too dark.
I didn't go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Rue stayed
Rue
in.
said she'd stay in the other room.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
In that case, would Aeneas? I don't think Aeneas would. Can Rue do the ritual while she's walking?
She in theory
I thought
could.
I thought both Ania and Rue stayed behind.
I'm fine with that if that is chosen.
I'm pretty sure unless the spell specifically requires you to stand still, that you can pretty much cast a ritual anytime, including while you're moving.
Yeah,
Would Rue stay in the crypt regardless?
If
More chance of the ritual actually working if she does stay, because if she comes with us, there's less time for her to work on it. So we're about to get in a fight.
She can always just use like a spell slot later on. She's not completely hung up on it.
True.
Or do as ritual cast it after the fight.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to decide if
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
Rue, are you like right behind the party, like probably 10 feet behind the party, or are you
Initially,
back in the?
I would have stayed in the room unless they had messaged me to like come with them
Okay.
because she was intent on communicating.
Okay, cool. And then Nia, you're on stay with Rue.
Nia, yeah, she's
Okay.
gonna look not happy about it, but also she's sort of out of it. So she's just like sitting there taking a breather against her will.
Okay,
Aw,
cool.
sad face.
So yeah, Sapphire, you would be the only one of the 4 who would be able to see the other 2 guardsmen at the end of the room.
All right. So instead of the 1 guard we were gonna take down, it's 2 now.
Okay, that makes that at least that makes sense. We know how many are there.
Yeah.
Sorry for
So
the
yeah, it's
confusion.
gonna be 1 per person. It looks like.
How do sneak attacks work?
So sneak attacks in general is essentially depending on how sneaky you are, you either get a surprise round or you will just straight up kill them. Depends on the sneak. At this moment, Cyril and Gelmar absolutely will just instant kill if they want to, or instantly knock out, depending on if they use non-lethal damage or lethal. For you and Dakota, you could get a headshot very easily and instant kill if you want to. Dakota cannot see the other person on the other end of the room. So Dakota would have to get closer if he wants to get a instant kill, or you guys can pretty much just all gang up on him as they recognize you're there. But that has the possibility of them raising an alarm.
And if I was to sneak up on them and use my sword to cut their throat?
You could potentially kill both of them, in theory. You would just have to get across the entire room first. Although I think you have Misty Step, don't you?
Do that. I'm sneaky.
And she's not under the invisibility spell.
This is true.
Mm.
You would just have to
But I'm-
bypass 4 different perception checks, and then you essentially be able to do it. Which you have a very high chance of doing.
I mean, technically speaking, it's all they all should be stuck with using their passive only unless they have reason to believe that somebody's there right now.
Mhm. Well,
Yep.
she's essentially
And I-
going to
I have-
walk across puddles.
And I still have pass without a trace.
This is true. So they
Plus
will
range bug.
roll against you, but depending on how high you roll, they might not physically be able to roll higher.
But
So-
if she uses Misty Step, then it won't matter.
This is true. You could just use a spell slot instead.
Yeah.
I-
I could do that.
Depends on if you want to use a resource or not. That's up to you.
I'll have time to replenish them. I'll use a resource.
So very effectively, essentially what I'm getting from you guys is your plan is Cyril and Gelmar, you 2 are pretty much going to, probably in Cyril's case, kill. Probably in Gelmar's case,
Mhm.
just beat the shit out of the 2 guardsmen in front of you. And then Sapphire, you're pretty much just going to Misty Step all the way over and then just more or less just slice their throats open.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'm assuming Gelmar, you're just going to beat the shit out of him.
Yes.
All right, cool. So very effectively, and Ania and Sapphire, you would not super hear this, but you would hear a little bit of it because obviously clanking noises and
Sapphire
shit.
would definitely hear it. She's in the room. You
Oh,
mean
sorry,
Rue.
Ania. I was looking at
Ania and
Ania's
Rue.
name too. But Rue and Ania, you both would be hearing this to a small degree, mostly just the rattling of armor and falling over to bodies and stuff like that, because it does echo down towards you guys. But essentially what happens is that the exact same moment in time, Cyril goes up and effectively just impales the fucker in front of him. He's not moving after that. Gelmar, I'm assuming you just run up and you just uppercut the shit out of him, not like knocking his head. Try to get a concussion, basically.
Yes.
Quick. quick and efficient. And Sapphire, in this moment, she just steps forwards, teleports, appears in front of the two other guardsmen, and just and they both essentially are choking on their own blood and can't scream. And they fall over just dead. Probably the loudest one would probably have been Gelmar. You guys
I
do.
look back and he's still feeding.
And he would appear because he's technically attacked while under invisibility.
Yeah. Dum, dum, dum.
Now, were the elves in like cages or were they just in the room?
They're in cages. Yeah, they're in iron cages. And the floor is not at all nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
After killing the guards, I'm looking for keys.
That's actually incredibly smart. Let's take this so much better than the last time I did it. Yeah, you fish around. This guardsman has a set of keys. The other guardsman does not. They do have a few coins on them. It seems like really, really old copper coins, but they seem to have some relative value that you can assume. Cyril and Gelmar, the two of you, are you just dumping the bodies? Are you like moving them? What are you doing?
I mean, I guess I'll look for some keys myself, but I'm also wondering, do any of them carry arrows?
That's a good question. One,
Or any weapons?
one of them has a spear. Two of them have almost skimtars, and then one of them has a I'd probably say one of them has a bow on his back, and he's using a very crude axe, and so he would have a few arrows on him.
Do the arrows look like they've been dipped in anything?
Sapphire would not see them having been dipped in anything, though.
Sapphire's still gonna take them.
Very smart. I'd add in 10 more arrows to inventory.
Do I see Sapphire find those keys?
You would hear it, yeah.
She's gonna hear in her head. Don't unlock the cages yet.
Dakota, you asked earlier if you will recognize the folks. You do. You do not recognize the highborn peasant, nor do you recognize the wood elf, but you do recognize the both of the men in front of you. One of them is once I pull up the page, that's weirdly formatted. One of them is Kieran Star Whisperer, and the other one is Everon Moonblade. There we go. They are not in any particular uniform at the moment. Everon's general outfit is dirty. It's covered in grime, soaked in straw, and it just looks like a bad look on him in general. And he's looking at mostly Cyril, honestly, with like a look of you would say he's impressed. Kieran, on the other hand, he's wearing, general wizard robes, kind of really neat and nice fabric that is just fucking tarnished to all hell. And he's looking around the room, more trying to figure out where you're going next than he is caring about anyone in the room, it looks like.
Hi.
Since I'm by the exit, I want to listen for anything I can hear down the hall.
Ooh, that's smart. I will say, roll me a perception check. Okay. I'm just finishing up with typing real quick. There we go. Okay, what'd you get? You got an 8. Okay. you're listening. You don't hear anything at the moment. All you're really hearing is like a weird, not a snake hiss, but you're hearing some other kind of hiss. You would almost equate this to like the sound of gas escaping the belly of a cow, but it's not quite right. Sounds weird. But so far, it doesn't seem like anyone has noticed.
I turn to Cyril and what's our plan now?
We should call in Ania and Rue so that they can interrogate this last Yuan-Ti, and then I can release him.
Elmar just in the corner, already tying the man up.
What an interesting thing to say.
What an interesting way you said the word release.
Or just free him from his mortal bonds.
That I was about to say.
Was there any metallic items that the one I KO'd had? I will be taking those out of his pockets.
Yeah, I'd probably say a couple. Like a lot of his like general outfit is like stud leather, but inside of his like pockets and stuff, you're not finding a whole lot. Like there's a bangle in there to put around your wrist, but aside from that, nothing much.
I mean, I'll take the studded leather. At the very least, I can get the metal bits out of it.
Cool. Just like slowly pulling off his shoulders and shit. All right.
The sick peasant high elf, I'm going to go over to take a look at, too. And when Rue gets into the room, I'm going to motion her over to him.
Rue would be about, I would say 5 minutes or so. You'd probably get like a message from probably Cyril saying all clear, basically. You can either continue your ritual as you go up towards them, or you can stop your ritual as is.
At some point, she was thinking about doing the ritual, but then it just kind of fell into how can I think of the question and what am I really looking for? And so mostly she's actually just been kind of meditating and pondering what to say. So if she hears that, she'll go ahead and just pop up and, okay, Ania, looks like I guess they are wanting us. Ready to go?
Nia will sort of sound like she does in the morning when she's just grumbly and sort of get up and go to follow Rue.
Rue just smiles as she watches Ania slowly move on, and then she'll take the back. Okay, that sounds good. I'll take the back.
All right. You both managed to get to them relatively quickly. And obviously Cyril, motions you over. You can see the guy is coughing every now and again. He does not look good. He looks very ill. The wood elf looks over at you as you both come up, and he kind of goes in a kind of hushed tone. Kind of goes, he passed out. I don't know how long it's been down here. It's impossible to tell, but he passed out a little while ago. He's kind of unresponsive for the most part, just coughing. But it might be from the dampness of the area. It might be from the mold. I don't know.
Okay. You both weren't hit or anything?
No.
Not possible from that?
No, the guards didn't seem to care much whether we lived or died, so they just kind of stuck us in here and,
Okay. Is it open?
It is not, no. You would not know Sapphire has the keys either.
Does somebody have a key? Or do they want me to take a look? I kind of want to.
Ania has perked up seeing the other two, the high elves, and she's gonna start to go over to their cage.
Cool. They would both look at
I will
you.
say that I have the keys.
Oh, thank you. Because I cannot lockpick.
Cyril,
Although
do
Rue
you...
probably has the strength to crush a lock in her hand.
Oh
Probably.
yeah, there's an unlocking pick.
Cyril, do you motion for Sapphire to open the gates or the gate?
He motions over, and then Sapphire hears in her head because she's gonna hear it from the others if they hear what he's saying.
Mhm.
Just these two.
So the sick one and the wood elf.
Okay.
Cool.
Do I know titles to address these two by?
Oh, that's a good question. Kieran, the only title he has ever wielded is Bookwalker. Just from the fact that he quite literally knows almost every book by heart in the library. So that's his general only title. But most people just call him.
I'm glad it was for that reason and not another one. Jeez, I was about to be like,
I'm not gonna lie, that does sound like a really cool spell.
Ania can probably Ania can
walk into
probably
the books here.
feel Dakota is standing next to Ania but is silent.
Okay. But yeah, most people just call him Star Whisperer. Mostly it's in reference to his heritage more than himself, but usually it's Bookwalker if you're referring to him. He never seems to care which one. In terms of Everon, almost always he is either called Moonblade, because that is the title of all the high military, is a title they take more than anything else. So it's either Moonblade or it's military leader, one of those two.
Okay, Ania will give a respectful bow of her head and say,
Star Whisperer and Moonblade, hello. My name is Ania. We have been sent by the ambassador.
Kieran would nod to you, and you would hear Everon speak in Elvish, and the only people who can't understand this are, I believe, Cyril, Gelmar, and who's it? I feel like there's a fourth one.
Cyril doesn't know Elvish?
He does not.
Nope.
I would have chosen not to know Elvish if it wasn't on my character sheet, but I do.
Can I unlearn a language?
you can always have because it's never come up. You can always choose to have had a different one if you'd like to.
Just common.
Just common? Okay.
She knew Elvish at one point, but she forgot it.
Instead of Elvish, Rue knows Primordial.
Yeah.
She knew all the awful things I was saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so I'll just take off Elvish then. It also fits with your general intelligence. But everyone will speak in Elvish, and so half the group can't understand them. But Dakota, Ania, and Sapphire, you hear them. Dakota, you have a little bit of tough time translating, but the other two, perfect translation. He basically looks at your group and he goes, Alicia? No, I think it was Alicia, right? Alicia?
Alicia.
Thank you. I can look. I have a bad way of remembering. But Alicia, he looks at you and goes, Alicia brought you into our forest. An odd group.
And Ania
Is that a
would
hint of scorn?
Of course, it's elves. Of course. Ania will reply back in Elvish, and she will say,
We are the ones who suspected there was something going on at the tree. She sent both of you, if the information I have been given is correct. We weren't going to interfere, but she sent me a sending stone message telling us that she did not hear back from both of you and that something was wrong.
He shakes his head softly and almost with a annoyed look, you would say. He says, kind of muttering under his breath slightly, she worries too damn much. And you see Kieran, he like stands up to his full height, which is I think for an elf, usually around tall. He's like 7'6". He's really tall, even compared to other elves. He's generally quite tall. So he towers over even Dakota. But he
Plays
stands
basketball
up.
in his spare time.
you know, but he stands up to his full height, and even with his like soiled clothes, even with, you know, muck all over him and, you know, the grime and all that, you can feel a legitimate aura of just straight up presence. It's not like he's commanding presence or anything like you would get from a king or anything like that. It's just an aura around him of competency, you would say. Something of that sort. However your characters would accept that.
Confidence or confidence?
Both. You would say that he knows what he's doing, and he's damn well going to do it. But he stands up to his full height, and he looks at most of you, quite literally looking down on Ania, although Ania can tell that's not his intention. In fact, Ania, weirdly enough, you feel like he's almost looking at you at eye level. Like it's like he's respecting you to a degree, even though he's vastly taller than you.
The downward look is just a result of him being physically tall.
Yeah. But he looks at you and he says, actually, he moves too common. Funny enough, as he looks at kind of your group, and he says, do apologize for my companion. He is had a few difficulties as of now. We are glad to have the help of a venturing group such as yourself. Alicia often worries, and we did get ourselves into quite a pickle. We were not quite expecting this when we came here.
Can you tell us anything of the situation so far? We arrived, but we've only gathered bits and pieces of what's going on. The entire surrounding forest seems ill. And she will lift her left hand to show her fingertips. I am a druid, and I'm not doing well here.
Druids have special connections to nature that even one such as I cannot hope to achieve. But he kind of waves his hand a little bit, and then he you notice he goes into a position to hold a book, and then he realizes he doesn't have a book, and he goes,
Coda is not amused.
He kind of looks around the area for a second, and you see him like look at a specific wall. He goes, could you do me a favor, miss, and head over there? There's a small compartment I saw them putting our belongings in. I require my book to attend to your magical difficulties, so to speak.
Ania will start to head over.
Cool. Does anyone comment on this as she does so?
Nope.
Nah.
I'm not so sure.
There aren't more lurking around here, are there?
Only the ones up ahead.
Hmm.
They're preparing for something. And what
How
are you saying,
many
Sarah?
are up ahead?
You would say, I'm not quite sure. We were ambushed. We only saw a small part of it before we were dragged back here. Cyril, what were you going to say?
I'm not so sure I trust them entirely.
Still, I have clearly been here for a while, he says, pulling his small sack of rations and his water skin. I suspect you'll probably be needing a little bit of a pick-me-up, he says, handing out a couple pieces, and probably pouring them a glass or two of water.
You see,
pure water.
You see Everon, the look of disdain he gives you is sharp enough to cut, is almost physically painful. The look that he gives you is a practiced look of absolute disgust that you have almost never seen before by any creature. And you've dealt with orcs, and they are not kind. But
So Ania speaks up without looking. She's like, I'm sure they have rations in their supplies. I will get them.
That's fair. But you do see Kieran, he looks at you as you like hand up, and he actually bows to you. going a little bit lower than you are, and he goes, I appreciate the gesture, but my companion here, let's say, has difficulties with
short folk. He says, giving him a knowing look and a grin.
Yes, we'll leave it at that. For everyone who speaks Elvish, you hear a very unkind word come out of everyone. As everyone just kind of sits down with an irritated look. Ania, as you get over to that outcropping that you had mentioned, is indeed a small compartment. It has what looks to be a very, very beautiful chest plate that is pretty much made of a gold-ish material, but substantially harder, as well as a sword. You recognize you've seen Everon use these many times. It's his signature look, essentially. And then you see a very small leather-bound book, relatively small leather-bound book right next to it, as well as a few pouches and general bags and stuff.
Ania will try to gather everything herself, which is a little bit difficult with the staff and her left hand being slightly not good. She doesn't ask for help, though, because she doesn't think the elves want anyone else touching their stuff, except
Do I
maybe
see
Rue or
her having a
Sapphire.
hard time?
You absolutely
she's not hiding it well.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely go over.
Ania will try to protest, like, they don't want anyone else touching it. Maybe Rue or Sapphire could help.
I might be knee deep in injuries.
Yeah, Rue's probably knee deep in injuries.
I'll come over and help.
I think it's maybe. I think we need to wait a moment. I want to ask Dakota a question.
Ania's out of it and doesn't realize yet that Cyril doesn't want to let them out of the cage yet. And she's just like, what? But she's too groggy right now to protest at this second until she realizes.
Would I be able to take a look at the people now?
Yeah, roll me a medicine check. Unless I had you roll already. Oh, no, I was one outside,
nope.
yeah.
Yep. I'll cast guidance on myself as well if I need it.
Okay.
Not really.
So you check over this guy. He's clearly in very bad shape. It's an infection in his lungs, probably caused by either the mold or just the various like wart that he's had or something of that sort. Maybe even the bioluminescent fungi on the walls. You're not entirely sure, but especially from how hard he's coughing, every now and again he coughs up a little blood. There's definitely something in his lungs that is just not having a good time, and he's exceptionally weak at the moment.
Okay. If it's internal, then maybe would him drinking potion of healing would work, or what would be the best?
It's possible.
Okay. Here, try this. I'll give the healing potion to them. Just down it.
He is unconscious.
Oh, some tussin on it.
Oh, he's unconscious. Oh, I gave this to you. You can't even hold it. Oh,
just got put on his head. You're like, drink.
Oh, I was in the zone. I'm so sorry. Here, let me just.
You kind of try forcing it, down his gullet, just making him drink and shit. It's annoying to do, and it's kind of difficult, especially trying to get the liquid down his throat. He stops coughing after a few minutes, so it seems to have helped, but he's still quite pale.
Oh, it's never annoying to help people. It just takes a while.
Fair enough.
Especially if they're unconscious. Okay, well, are they good?
From the best that you can tell, he's exceptionally pale, but he doesn't look like he's gonna die anytime soon.
Just in case, spare the dying on you.
Okay. You seem like you're ill. Spare the dying.
This should work.
Could stop at any moment.
We stabilize you. All right. But yeah, so Sapphire, you come over and you grab a few things for Ania, kind of helping her with it. Cyril, do you say more to Ania at this point?
First, I'm asking Dakota a question, and I'm asking it in Dakota's head, so I don't reveal anything that Dakota doesn't want revealed.
Okay.
Dakota, do you recognize either of these two people? or their voices from back when you were in chains?
The high elves? You hear the high elf's voice rather than the accent.
Mm-hmm.
Everon Moonblade, Kieran Star Whisperer. Star Whisperer was the one who studied me. And Everon was parent of someone I knew once. He's the one who sent the soldiers after.
Kieran performed the experiments.
Yes.
I would say you never saw him directly do it, but you know he was in charge of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lean down and whisper that in Ania's ear.
Ania pauses and looks more awake, and her emotions sort of flow between confused, mostly confusion, and then sort of torn. She's in thinking mode and trying to figure out what to do next, and she's lagging because of her state.
Mhm.
So she's just sort of standing there staring intently at nothing at the moment.
You see, you hear behind you, Kieran goes, are you all right? Is there some, I know there are some spiders that have been around here. They're the natural denizens of this area. I hope none of them are in there.
Where are they? Gilmore said, are giving him a serious look.
Yeah,
I love Gelmar.
they usually don't come down this far. Don't worry. If they usually protect the outer area, so if any creatures decide to make a home for the night, they can attack. But down here, there very rarely are any.
Anya starts to walk over to the cage, and she's still carrying the stuff.
Mhm.
She's not looking at them though, and she still looks conflicted about something. But she does seem to Cyril and Dakota. She is still going to give them their supplies back.
Mhm. Do you two say anything before she gets there?
While
Kieran's-
she's walking
oh.
over there. Oh, you go ahead.
It's like I look at Kieran's book and I was just like, that is a spells, doesn't it? And say this in Cyril's head. 'Cause he's next to me.
And you're asking that if that has the spells in it?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
I'm just like
So-
idly. Yeah.
So yeah, you see me nod. And Ania hears in her head, do you need me to make a scene?
Anya turns her head a little bit to the side and responds back. Let me think. Whatever they've done, right now the priority is saving the tree. For now they are on our side, and they will help us get through this, whatever is down there. It's what they're here for.
Okay. We make sure that multiple of us are between them and Dakota. Oh,
That's fine. I'm not sure if they'll recognize Dakota. If they do, I will personally get involved.
Aww.
But
Aww.
but for now, just Dakota's good at standing in the background. Just get him to stand in the background somewhere.
Mhm.
Just stand in the shadows, be ominous. They don't care about Dragonborn anyway. They won't give him a second glance unless he acts suspicious.
So you guys hand over
so
their
Dakota,
stuff?
roll the performance check.
Natural one.
Yeah, I
Is that
barely get to roll any
good?
deceptions.
I don't. Can the stuff fit in the cage?
Hmm.
Like even the breastplate?
The sword definitely can. So the bars are like a good foot wide. So it's not super hard to like put your arm through or anything like that. You just can't like fit yourself through it. But they're definitely not like small bars or anything like that. You guys can open the cage if you want to. That's always an option as well with Sapphire having the keys.
Yeah, Ania doesn't really know where the keys are. She probably wasn't even paying attention when the other cages were opened. She is going to hand the book over.
Okay. He's gonna take the book and he's gonna like ruffle through the papers and stuff like that. And you see like the pages flow through the book almost weirdly the same way that Ruse does. It's a unnatural amount of pages for how small the book is relatively. You see at least 200 or 300 in just the few seconds you see him like swipe through. And he stops that page and he goes, there we go. May I see your hand, miss?
Ania will shuffle what items Sapphire didn't take, and she'll offer her left hand.
Mm-hmm. And you do see Everon like take the sword and his breastplate from Sapphire. Sapphire, you don't feel disdain coming from him. Weirdly enough, the only thing you can feel from like the way he's looking at you, you would say is akin to disappointment more than anything else.
Not angry, I'm just disappointed.
But he
I
does.
pity you.
He's disappointed he got outclassed by a group of random travelers.
But he does put on his stuff, and he looks hardcore military in his outfit. But Kieran, like he gently grabs your hand, and it's so soft you almost don't notice him like holding your hand, and you hear him start reciting something. It's in an arcane language that none of you guys can understand, and you feel your hand. It doesn't necessarily get better, so to speak, like fully better. You're still feeling some pain in it, but the pain dulls, and it's almost like a calm rush of water kind of running through your arm, and you do feel the tree like relax. It's almost like the tree has been clenching and it just let goes for a second. It's at more peace, and you can feel it through your body. The tree is feeling some form of tranquility, and it seems to ease up your hand a little bit.
Thank you, sir.
Indeed.
The
It's an old
tree
spell I
also.
learned.
The tree also thanks you. I can. Did you use me as a conduit?
In a way, yes. The best way I can describe it for one such as yourself is that I cured a symptom, but the root cause is still buried.
Ania will nod.
And he looks over at the other two in the cage, and you see it's pity. It's just sadness as he looks over the two in the other cage. The wood elf has like kind of picked up the high elf at this point, kind of carrying him more or less, as kind of walking out, and he goes, there is there should be a town between here and the Starshout Kingdom. If you manage to get him even close to there, you should be picked up by a patrol, and they'll bring you back to Starshout Kingdom, and they will treat you generously. Just say that Star Whisperer himself said that you need to be taken care of. And he pulls out a coin and hands it to the folk. Sapphire, you will notice this coin is the same kind of coin that you just picked off the serpent, but it's gold instead of copper. But he passes it to the wood elf, and the wood elf nods, and he starts walking towards the back the way you guys came, essentially.
Well, the
Can I go ahead and
spiders
insight the feeling of actually wanting to help these people for a good cause, or to like their own image, or something that
Absolutely.
they just kind of want to do, not for like goodness, but just kind of
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah, 100%. Feel free to roll it.
Yep.
So,
Could I do D4 maybe? Help me out.
yeah, roll me a
Guidance
d4.
was still going.
So I blessed too. I haven't used it yet.
So you're looking over at him as he's doing this whole exchange. You have dealt with a lot of slimy characters in the past, at least to the best of your knowledge, and especially through your book. People usually have a motivation to help people if they're doing it for like reputations and stuff like that. Kieran is basically at the top of the totem pole. He has nothing to gain from helping people. So the fact that he is so willing just to hand out, this token or whatever it is, and their positioning, you can pretty safely say he's probably doing it out of goodwill, especially considering as you look over at Ervon, there is a look of slight distaste on his face. He is clearly not super happy with Kieran's decision.
And I hate everybody.
It's everybody that's a pure elf and also strong.
Cool.
Before they leave, Ania does speak up. Will the spiders let them through? They seemed a little bit desperate, and they did just get attacked by. There were displacer beasts up above. I
Guard
think we took care
dogs.
of them.
And you hear everyone say that in almost what's the word? He's almost proud of that word. But he says in Elvish, of course. But Kieran kind of looks over and goes, they should be fine. The spiders have, shall we say, a knowledge about the inhabitants of the area. They're smart. If they decide to eat those people, then it's very likely others will come and eradicate them. So it's better for them as a colony to let them free than it is to get a tasty snack.
They're probably tired after the fight anyway. They lost a lot of spiders.
The place to beasts are very difficult opponents, especially for one who doesn't use magic. So spiders probably at a severe disadvantage. So they're probably trying to recuperate after that. Do you
At
guys
this-
open the gates by any chance?
I'll
Yeah,
leave
at this
that.
point.
I'll
leave
What
that
about
up
the
to-
other Yanti?
Oh yeah, we have a Yanti. Is he still
Yeah.
unconscious? They.
The one that Gelmar KO'd and left tied
Yeah.
up in the corner.
He's out. Until you guys wake him up, he's out. Fucking Gelmar does not do things half-assed.
We throw him in the empty cage.
Oh, that's a good
That's a
idea.
good point.
That's a good idea.
Ooh.
Get him in there.
He is down to his. I was about to say small clothes, but more to like commoner's clothes, I'd imagine.
So you guys throw him in the cage?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Alright.
lock it.
Yeah.
Very smart. So you throw him in the cage, you lock it. Probably takes a couple minutes. I don't think y'all have any real way of waking people up aside from stabbing them, so.
Slapping him.
We can do that if we want to.
You could.
You could slap him across the face.
Or in the eye.
No.
But Galbert just like reaches
I
through the
said
bars
slap,
and he
I
just.
didn't- I said slap him, not stab him.
Sometimes you slap him in the eye.
Same difference.
While we are waiting, can Ania ask something of the elves?
Yeah.
She's going to take a little risk here, and she's going to go over them and say, on the way here, we saw a crypt along the way. Am I allowed to ask any information about that structure?
Of course, the information down here is, well, not a public knowledge, I would say, but you are adventurers, and adventurers do get around. The crypt down here was, shall we say, old. Long, long time ago, this used to be the Yonti's domain. They found it to be a resting place of sorts. The charge of the god's energy down here prompted them to believe that they could contact their own god. They spent years studying, years trying to force their ways through it, and they even built themselves a form of, suppose coven, you would be able to say. But it never went anywhere. Then they disappeared. I feel like this might be a similar ritual sorts that they are trying to achieve, but it doesn't have the usual markings.
Were they here when the tree was? Were the Yonti originally with the tree before Elvenkind was?
We do not know. My, I want to say she's his yes, grandmother. My grandmother, then you probably know of her, I assume. It would be,
Star Whisperer.
Seraphina.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she'll nod. Is Seraphina the book?
Yeah. She's the one who made
And
that
she-
guild.
And Anil will go ahead and say, I'm part of Seraphina's guild.
It is good to see a fellow traveler of it. She was the one who originally investigated the Hollow, carting it off as a relic of times past, and was one of those who tended to it, as did my father, and I myself have tended to it. It doesn't need much tending to after so long, but I believe this happened around 400 years ago or so, that the Yonti were around, sneaking their way through the area. At first it was rumors, and of course those got put down, but in order to not concern the public eye, we decided it would be best if we didn't let a shadow of the past come back to fruition. So we dealt with it. They vanished again, and we didn't see them again until, well, recently.
Anil will bow her head and thank him for the information.
He nods back to you. The Yanti slowly starts to wake up at this point. Just slap, and he wakes up. And he looks at you guys and he hisses, which is from what Nia can tell, some form of curse.
Anil will walk over and give them a nod. It's like, hello. May I ask what you are doing here? And she hesitates on the word. And she's like, why are you making the tree ill?
It tilts its head at you, seemingly almost confused. It seems to only understand bits and pieces from what you're saying, to the best of your ability to tell. And it speaks out in your stutter language that you can hear. You kind of get creature, you ritual, we create creature, you not part.
And Anil will talk back and she'll use her broken accented Yonti.
Mm-hmm.
And she will say, you make Forest sick?
It almost seems to like fully process that, and it chuckles, which is the most disturbing sound you've heard. You didn't even think it was physically possible for a snake-like creature to chuckle, but it seems to have obviously multiple pieces. As you get a very good look at it, you can see it has like a lot of different serpentine features, including a elongated neck, weird eyes, perfectly clear head, scales over its body, but it does a weird chuckle thing at you, and it goes, forest bows to will.
You will sigh and look to the others like, I only know a little bit of their language. Is there anything you all would like me to ask? Or try?
What is the point of defiling these locations? Why must we put them down this many times?
The point, from what I understand, is not that they're trying to defile them. It's just defiling is a consequence of the rituals they are trying to do.
Mm. Oh
Why
yes,
are they conducting the rituals in the first place?
I think I remember. Is it that they want to be the best type of Yanti? Like, wasn't there something that they were doing to make like, oh, they look like the best Yanti, the ones that actually look like snakes?
That is of the
Nia
stories, yeah.
will- I will try to ask anyway. And she'll turn back and she'll say, let me think.
Mhm.
Let's see. Create Yanti from ritual.
It will think about it for a moment and then grin at you. And it will say, perfection and resurrection.
Of God.
It kind of looks at you and it doesn't seem to know what you said. It doesn't seem to know the word God.
Mm-hmm. And she'll think again. I'm trying to remember what Ania knew. You mentioned something about a queen before?
Yeah, most Yontis have a weird hierarchy where they have some kind of ruler, which is usually a queen, of some sorts.
So she will ask instead, resurrection of queen.
Queen away.
Ania will look back to the others and she'll say, they're saying the ritual is for perfection of Yanti, also a resurrection, but I'm not sure what the resurrection is for. They also said their queen is away. Yanti, at least in the stories I've read, usually have a queen they follow. From what I can piece together, they might not be acting under one?
So is it like a matriarchal society or?
I only know bits and pieces. It's very hard to find Yanti literature.
Is there a way to ask him about the Shadowfell?
Why
The
would they know anything about the Shadowfell?
That's where it was being
Is-
summoned from. Whatever it was.
Excuse me?
Oh, do you mean the boss thingy? Or
Matron
the
said.
portal?
Mhm.
Oh. What did you... They said that the portal there's doing down here has to do with the Shadowfell?
The Knot said that the Yuan-Ti were trying to summon something from the Shadowfell. That's pretty much all I know.
You hear in common
In-
behind you, fuckers need to die then.
Ania will occasionally look over to the high elves while they're
Mhm.
talking to see if anything grabs their attention in particular.
That was the first time you've heard Eravon speak in common.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, they just seem to be looking at your guys' backs and the still closed cage.
you want to try
Yeah.
asking again what it is they're trying to resurrect?
Even I
Ania will
understand.
nod.
Even I understand the meaninglessness of reaching perfection. Cannot be accomplished by mortal hands.
Well, that's why they seek divinity for it. And she will turn back and say, resurrecting who?
As you're saying that to him, Gelmar, you get a message in your head from your sister, and it states moving don't know where. Away from mountain.
Oh, that's gonna be hard to do.
Eyes widening at this realization. Is it
she'll-
the sending spell?
Yes, it's sending spell. She's still going. Moving away from mountain. Concern. They say, we 15 are going to finish what they started. 23 or 22 words.
It's a sending spell, right?
Yes.
Can you see any landmarks, or can you identify a direction for the next time we may speak? I will send you her message tonight. I assume that's well within 25.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
But yeah, so you ask him, the snake, what are you trying to resurrect?
Yeah, who resurrect who?
Mm-hmm. It looks at you and it goes, resurrect. And it heavily emphasizes that word too. Seems annoyed that you got it wrong. Resurrect, creature, not creature, you, creature. It seems to not have a word to differentiate between you and whatever it's going for. Ritual. Good.
Yeah, well, can I insight check on why the Yonti is cooperating
Absolutely.
so readily? Because they haven't shouted or anything, and they're actually answering, as far as I know, to the best of their ability to, which is weird.
I'll insight that too.
100% feel free.
I'm under the assumption at the moment that they just simply believe that answering the question won't help us, because they're pretty sure we're going to be obliterated by whatever's in the next room.
True, they do have hubris.
To the best of your ability to tell is pretty much what Gelmar said. It seems to have the core belief that whatever it's telling you will not matter to you in about where you will not make it out of here, essentially, is what it's thinking. If it dies, so be it. If you're going to die anyways.
Ania will look back and shake her head. I think there's a language barrier. It's trying to say resurrect a creature, but I don't recognize some of the words.
Mm-hmm. And I know Dakota was asking for something, right? The Shadowfell, but that's
Shadowfell.
the creature. I mean, maybe it's the creature that they're talking about.
I could try. Do I know like the word for Shadowfell? It seems like a complicated word to know with my language.
Or maybe
Roll
like
me
shadow
an
and fall?
intelligence save.
Okay, intelligence save.
See if you can jumble some words together.
Ooh.
You're still in quite a bit of pain.
Yeah.
You're not working at full capacity. You can try to shuffle words together. Shadow would be similar to dark, and you know that word. Fell would be similar to throne
Fey,
or
maybe.
fall, or stuff
Well,
like
I feel
that.
like in this
Do Fey.
context, fell, yeah, it would be either like Fae or
Yeah.
like it's like fell in more of like a different sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
In
I think
theory,
we'll go with-
one of the closest words you can think of to fell, even in a weird context, would be kill. But there's not a whole lot of words that can kind of fit near that theme.
And she'll say out loud, I'm not sure. I don't know the word for Shadowfell if they even have one. And I don't know if their religion sees it the same concept or not.
Are there any details you might be able to use to imply it?
I can try, and she'll speak up again. Summon from dark Fey realm?
It looks at you with now curiosity more than anything else. And it goes, Fae. It's a very strange word in its mouth. You're like probably 90% certain that either you or it are saying it wrong, and you're not quite sure the pronunciation. It certainly does say it back to you, and then it goes, it's free. We free you. Fae.
Ania suddenly gets an idea. What's the name of the one we're trying to avoid summoning? The one that the 7 serve?
Actually, I don't know if you guys know its name.
Um,
You guys know it's a gigantic, possibly dragon?
mm-hmm.
Oh, you could say large black dragon.
Like dragon snake. Let me look through my notes really quick.
Mhm.
While I look through the party, do you want to try talking to the elves or anything else? I don't want to hold it up by looking through my notes.
Did it say Fae? Then it's Fae, we free? Or it's free, we free, as in the snake Yanti free,
Mhm.
and then you, as in us, Fae?
Yeah, it said it's Fae, pretty much like a question mark almost. At least from what Nia can tell, it was either a question mark or it was an exclamation mark. It was either questioning it or it was restating it. And then it said to her, it's free, we free. And it seemed to connect the two of those in a really weird way. What was the last bit I said? Oh, and then you, Fae. And that one was a question she can guarantee.
Okay, I
You
got
Fae?
something. You Fae. Ania ignores it and tries something new, and she says, "One who waits."
It takes a moment to look at you, and it doesn't respond. Just looks
Insight.
at you.
Insight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Insight.
Insight that
that.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I don't think I need any help.
Yep, yep. Rue, you can tell it shut up. It shut up real hard. Ania, you can tell you hit something. And it does not want you. It does not. It didn't realize you knew that much.
Oh.
Ania crouches down, and everyone else can see she's suddenly locked in, like she's gotten something, and she goes, 7 who help, 1 who waits, summoning 1 of 7.
You see its eyebrows like frown as it's looking at you. It goes very simply. Not 7. 7 here.
Ania curses in common. She goes, shit. She turns to the party and she says, whatever they're doing, it's something with the 7 that we're dealing with, and one of them might be here.
7.
As in-
Wait. No, wait. Gilmore probably wouldn't know. What am I saying?
Yeah, go ahead. What was it? Maybe you do. You don't know. You can ask.
Above game, I assume when you say the 7, you're talking about the deadly sins that Cyril's hunting?
Don't, yes, but Ania was told by the dream thing that there are 7 who are helping the one who waits. So Ania would have said she was told there are 7 entities at some point, but it's been probably like a few weeks to a month now. So
yeah,
you can have Gelmar like remember it or forget it.
I mean, I know that Gelmar knows that Cyril's actively hunting these monsters. I just don't think he actually understands the significance of what they are.
Yeah. I don't think you've put together his monsters in the 7 just yet.
And they said not 7? 7 here? Does that mean there's more?
I will say, Ania, there are, at least to the best of your knowledge, several words for here in their language, which involve, but is not exclusive to, actually here, as in this physical location, here as in general area, and here as in directed to you. And then the fourth one is here as in they are somewhere that we have.
Nia will say, like, I'm not totally sure, but it's definitely linked. And I think he's saying whatever's in the main room, there's someone very powerful we have to be aware of. I don't think they're summoning it, but maybe they are. It's a language barrier.
I would imagine it's likely to be pretty similar to the one we dealt with to the north.
Wow, this is a lot of good information, which we wouldn't have if we didn't.
She glares at Cyril.
She doesn't mean to nudge it, but it comes out like that.
Wow, if he had died, we surely wouldn't have this.
Wow, howdy do. We wouldn't have this information.
Well, while they're talking, I'm going to kind of like look at the Yuan-Ti,
Mhm.
and like just like slightly like the poncho kind of like is like so he's the only one who like sees my gun there, and there's gonna be like necromancy shadow things like kind of like going around it. As I'm trying to like intimidate him into elaborating further.
You are welcome to try. I will say this is a ridiculously high DC.
Come on.
And
Yes.
I start
26.
edging. Oh, never mind.
Whoa.
That is a ridiculously high number for a high DC. It looks at you,
Cool.
and you can tell that as you pull out you kind of show off the necromancy, it does get concerned. You would say you can't tell very easily, but it does look like it's not afraid. It's definitely not afraid. Afraid is not the word you would use here, but concerned would probably be it. Doesn't seem like it's concerned for itself, however.
Mm-hmm.
It is not saying anything further, though.
Shoot, I should have rolled persuasion.
Ania is also not looking at it, so it's not saying anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can get unless there's any new questions. And she'll also look over the high elves to see if they want to ask anything.
Everon seems like he wants to spit on its grave. that's the main thing you're getting from him, is that he's holding that sword with a white knuckle grip. Kieran, on the other hand, is pretty much like the embodiment of just a flowing, calm waterfall. Basically, he's very, very calm where he is. He's looking at you, and he goes, "I do not speak its language. I'm fairly impressed that you do. Is a difficult one to learn."
Ania will nod her head and stand up because she's not sure if she has anything else to ask, and she'll say,
As a druid of the stars, I was given a prophecy related to the Yuan-Ti, so I've taken a special interest in learning more about them.
I see. Prophets of the stars are often ones we turn to in dire situations, so I'm glad to know one such as you, especially with how young you are. It's quite a feat to get where you have so far. This creature, and you do hear the slightest, the faintest amount of almost like not quite disgust or disdain. It's a little bit too harsh of a word, but something of that ilk. You hear it ever so slightly in his voice. Is barely noticeable. You can only notice it since you have such a hyper passive. But this creature, I don't think it's going to tell us much more. If it does, well, from the looks of it, looks like it may shit itself and die, pardon the language. Brother here as often gets to me with it.
Ania will step back from the cage and look to the others, seeming to be deferring to their judgment now.
You know what Cyril wants to do.
I just, without hesitation, I just stride right into the cage.
We
And I use the spear to jab it through its neck. I twist the handle so that the wings on the shield open, and then I look at Kieran as I twist it back so that the wings come back in, and I let the head fall, and I just walk away.
Ania does not look at this, and she does not look happy, but she does not look at this.
But you
Yeah,
look right at Kieran, and his response to doing this and staring him in the eyes is very calm, just elegant smile. He's looking at you like it's just a normal Tuesday for him. Not in the slightest bothered. What are you saying, Gilmore?
Yelmar just recognizes what's going on the moment he steps into the cage and just immediately looks away, back towards the front passageway, trying to make it look like what's going on is either not something he knows about or is not something that bothers him, and he just says, "We need to keep going quickly," before turning back towards the Elven members that we have taken care of rescuing.
No, I was just saying the Elven members we still haven't freed.
Rue had watched, though. She had watched Zero done this and had watched the head fall. Though she knows, she was going to say before, but she understands now what they're kind of doing. So she just takes it in. She doesn't look away, but she acknowledges it.
Fair. Yeah, Kieran kind of looks at your group almost expectantly at the moment. Everon just looks like a guy you've shit in the cereal of, honestly.
It was my kill stealer.
Honestly.
My EXP.
My
I honestly don't understand why we haven't just opened the cage and just told them to just start running.
I don't think they're gonna run. That would be dishonorable.
Yeah.
Mostly
I
because
want to grab the head.
What?
yes.
All right. Yeah, you grab the snake head. It's fresh.
Aeneas
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well.
Above game, I really don't think we actually want to keep that. Remember what happened back at the village?
Could.
No.
The
Although,
ritual was fueled by blood.
Oh, you're right.
right, but technically, Ania could use the fangs in that head to milk the venom out.
Yeah.
Technically, yes. Would she do it? Debatable.
It's fair. But yeah, 100% Sapphire, you're welcome. Go over, grab it. It's a head.
What are you doing?
Kind of messy.
Sad way
It's
to
a
die.
head.
It's not very code.
We don't have to disrespect him.
I think it would also be best to
disrespected this
leave
place.
it.
What did you say, Sapphire?
They disrespected this place.
Did, but what are you
Not
going to
the
do
point.
with it?
Not the point. We can only really look forward. Not. Can we please just find a solution to what's going on and stop trying to behead people?
Stares,
There was no
daggers at
trying.
Cyril.
It happened.
I think. I think you are confusing cleansing hallowed ground with murderous intent.
Can you explain to me how slaughtering a grunt is purifying the space?
I am removing, and I'm going to look over at Kieran, the corruption.
Oh.
Kieran's
Just to the
response is just gonna be, it is a good plan to remove that which has infected the tree. If it were to be left alive, well, who knows what would happen? It could ambush you, or it may just be left alone and then eaten by the spiders, you know? We might have done it to mercy, honestly. The spiders are, savage.
You know, there's more ways to remove these sorts of things, to remove these things from the premises than just killing it. And
This is true.
I just, it was just like a distant call, it's just not even in focus.
Could we release Star Whisperer and Moonblade? And Ania will look around like she doesn't know who has the key.
Agreed. I suspect it would be best if they made their way back to the town as quickly as they could. I don't believe this is a safe space to remain for much longer.
You see Eravon actually run his sword along the iron bars, the back of it specifically, and makes a not quite shrill sound, but it's definitely not pleasant sound. And he goes, I will leave when every single thing in this entire tree has either died or has decided to fuck off. And that includes all of you.
Actually, I would prefer you take the second option.
you see this man, he turns and he looks at you. This look is worse than he gave Gelmar. You can count the number of people on one hand that have given you a look that unbelievably just disgusted with you. Is a look of pure and utter disdain for your existence. Is honestly impressive how much he hates you at the moment. And he goes, who in the fuck are you?
Nia
I
also
completely ignore him and I turn to Kieran.
Gelmar will actually respond for him. Not quite what he's looking for, but still. Actually, he's on to something. If this is anything like the last one of these we've dealt with, and I suspect it will, the more numbers it is, the more numbers present, the more powerful this being could potentially become. We should stick to only what we need. And though I'm certain it's not going to be what you want to hear, it does not look like you're prepared to handle this.
Please, I've dealt with worse since you were a child, boy.
And yet you're in there.
Up?
And yet you're in there, he says.
Indeed.
As plainly and sternly.
Yes, we got ambushed by creatures that we had no knowledge or understanding of, that attacked us from behind, knocked us out, and were able to apprehend us and take away all of our items in very fast time, as if they knew that we were coming. Would you be able to prevent the same thing, Dragonborn?
You say that as if you think that they didn't attempt that the last time we had a run-in with them. Why do you think we know what's going on?
Ah, so you've seen them before then. Oh, what news this is to us.
Are you seriously telling me you didn't figure that out from the conversations we've been having?
Ania looks aghast. She is like, what the heck is going on? What are you two doing?
Kieran kind of holds up his hands and he just goes, to dissuade hostile intention, shall we say. We were indeed unprepared for creatures to outnumber and ambush us. It was only us two, and we expected this place to be abandoned, as it has been for quite some time. As you might imagine, I am not a close-ranged fighter. I have many spells, but not within, reach distance, usually. And Eravon here can only take so many. He killed 7 of them before they even had a chance to hurt him. Unfortunately, they did knock him out with, 3 sledgehammers? Or something akin to them. I don't know what they were exactly. They were quite crude. But you are new to this adventuring, from what I can tell. So, but having prior knowledge upon the Yuan-Ti is a very useful thing for us to have at the moment. It's been several centuries since we saw the last ones. We don't know how they've adapted or how they've changed. However, I will say that if you want to cleanse this tree, you will need significantly more magic than your party is able to produce. And that is why I'm here, after all.
We are on the same side. Why
We
are we
will
fighting?
release you. We will release you. As caretakers, you will make this your final act, and you will then remove yourselves from this sacred place.
This is their sacred place.
Gilmar lets out a frustrated side. No, Ania's right.
No, Ania is wrong. A pact was made. And that
Ania
pact
is-
was broken.
Kieran
Gilmar is
actually
very
raises an
confused.
eyebrow at this. You see him look curious for the first time. Ervon just looks disgusted at you and is refusing to look your way at this point, but Kieran looks legitimately curious, and he looks at you and he goes, "A pact, you say? I haven't heard that terminology in years. Maybe decades. Fascinating. You know, you may be correct. We shall do as you wish." And you see Ervon like fucking turn and look at him with like a look of the fuck you say, bitch. And Kira just like just again raises a hand and he's like, "We shall do as you wish. We shall make sure this place is protected and cared for and shall we say erased of this infection providing it. And then we shall simply ensure that it is left to its own devices until it is in need of assistance again." Night. Is that satisfactory? You see him with a grin. Anyone who wants to roll insight,
Oh
or
yeah,
anyone who
definitely.
feels like they should.
I like rolling
I'm-
insight.
I'm too focused and pissed
No,
off.
Yeah,
I'm
Gilmar was
still
on the brink of
hurting.
accepting their aid.
Fair, fair.
I'm in pain.
And yes, he does actually have a narrative reason for why he wanted to
15.
send them away. For why he
All
wanted
right.
to send them away.
With 10, 12, 15, and 16, the highest being Gelmar. Most of you guys feel like it's very genuine. Gelmar, you get the slightest feeling, the ever so slightest hint, that the smile that he's giving to Cyril, especially with the word night at the end, is not happy, is the word that you would use. It's not, like the opposite. It's not like he's scornful or anything. It's close to happy, but it's not quite. Slightly off. Something about it is weird.
Do I get the sense that he knows what Cyril is? Most notably from the perspective of role, not necessarily species.
You get the sense, of actually you do have backstory for this. It gives you a very similar feeling to two rivals meeting each other after a very long time. But not quite. You're getting heavily that from Cyril. You're getting practically fucking bloodlust from Cyril at this point towards him. But for him, it's almost like you would expect this kind of attitude from a sparring match with someone that you're joyfully getting to match wits with or getting to fight with and such. It's very strange in this situation. Does not make sense to you.
Yelmar will actually just look towards Cyril and just say, just accept the terms and let's just move. We have more important matters to attend to. And it's definitely not getting any better the longer we linger here.
Indeed.
There is definitely a tone shift between what he had a minute ago and now.
He goes, indeed, it's the The infection grows the longer we stay. Who knows how long the ritual's been going on, if it has even finished by now. We don't even know what we're up against. The longer we talk here and the longer we stay, and the longer this cage stays closed, the worse this tree gets. None of us want that, correct?
My comrade is right.
Before we let them out, I want to know what our plan is going forward.
Take me to the heart of the tree, and I can cure it of its ills.
Thank you. I meant regarding fighting.
No, that's your jobs, not mine.
I wouldn't expect them to be capable of assisting us.
Yeah, but I wanted our plan before I let them out.
I think right now our plan will be to do as we've been doing. Cautiously proceed. Gelmar and I take the front.
When we
And
I'll let you finish before I can continue my statement.
I didn't really have much left to finish. That was more of like just a trailing off.
Mhm.
In whatever it is that we find ourselves within up there, I recommend that we focus our attention on whatever spellcasters might be available first. They are the ones that are undoubtedly going to be fueling that ritual.
Right.
Might even be more worth tending to them before, or any that might bear capabilities for healing, depending on the situation. Of course, don't let yourself get cornered. Too many. If you find yourself with too many around you, find your way towards myself, Cyril, or Rue. I think he might be the best at protecting you.
All right.
You hear Eravon scoff at that, but he doesn't say much.
Would you say that we've taken a short rest?
No, you guys have been, it probably been about 20 minutes, I would say. You guys have, maybe 15, depending on how long it took you guys to kind of be at this point. But for the most part, you guys have just been talking. Short rest requires you guys to rest, eat, and stuff like that. You guys can take one if you'd like.
No.
I mean, I've got full HP, most of my resources. The only thing I'm lacking in is exertion points.
No?
All right.
So I only got 6 spell points, but aside from that, I'm doing pretty good.
We got a gun.
I do got a gun.
It's true.
Okay,
Works
so
very
what's
well.
our formation going forward?
Probably same as
think-
ever, you know.
I assume Gelmar and Cyril are taking the front still.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
And
I mean,
Dakota,
regarding the extra 2,
Yeah.
well, you know,
because we agreed that Dakota was going to be furthest away
Right.
from them.
everyone.
Kieran actually
and-
raises a hand at that one, and he goes, "Myself and my brother will be at the very far back of the party. It would make for a very poor experience if we were to walk into an area and I get shot immediately. You are more or less my, shall we say, guides for the most part right now. Make sure I get there and don't let me die. And the tree will survive."
I just
We'll
look at them with like wide eyes, like kind of a small smile on my face, like okay, and she looks to the rest of the group.
Let's be honest. If anybody was going to be the worst possible idea to try and jump, it's gonna be Rue.
That's true.
I was gonna say she has the least. What's the word I'm looking for here? She is the one person on the party with almost no sense of self-preservation tendencies.
Oh yeah, they had the knife to my throat and everything.
Just fucking upchucked though, instant death. Like, oh, you were threatening me? No, you weren't.
No, you aren't.
Why is not a knife?
Ania will volunteer to be in the back with the other elves.
Cool.
I'll slot myself in the middle, same as ever.
Middle front.
Hell yeah.
And Rue, are you taking full back with Ania?
Yep.
All right. Sapphire's
I'll
gonna be
be
in the middle.
next to Dakota, I guess.
Nice. All right. I'm assuming you guys let them out at this point then?
Yeah, I guess.
I
I
guess.
assume yes. Yes. How did
Fair
it
enough.
come?
You free them from their confinements and kind of get more into formation. Eravon stays a good 5 feet, maybe almost 10 from like both Rue and Ania. He's staying pretty far back. He is not happy. But Kieran, on the other hand, he's staying relatively close to Ania. Just seems to be perfectly content with this situation. He seems almost joyous at the moment. It's a very strange feeling from him. He's very
And he
at peace.
apologizes profusely to both.
Is more than fine. I understand the adventuring mind does not have the same qualities that we see inside of the council room, shall we say. I do not mind your companions. Speaking out of line, as it were. Have you traveled much, Miss, That's towards
She
you.
waits. Yeah, she waits. She said her name before. She waits a little bit.
Did you say your name?
She did. She introduced herself when she greeted them. She said,
That's
like,
right.
hello, with you two, I'm Ania.
Miss Ania. It
This is
flows
my
oddly
first-
off his tongue.
Hmm.
This is my first real time traveling. I was raised near Haven with one of the druid circles there.
Ah. I hear good things about that circle. They've done well for the Haven. It's always nice to see that they're keeping my sister company.
No, your sister.
Yeah,
The ambassador?
indeed.
And she'll nod.
She's done well over there. It's difficult as the job must be, I imagine.
She seems to be doing well, though. Her position does put her in a tough place, I believe.
I would imagine it does. Many people do not like the fact that the elves associate with, humans.
Nia nods respectfully. And she's
And-
going to. Go ahead.
He says, and I do apologize for my brother as well. He has a sharp of a tongue on him as his wit and his sword.
And she'll wave her hand like,
No, I totally understand. There was, a lot has been happening here, and this entire situation should not even be happening.
Indeed. The fact that we had not gotten signs of this sooner is perplexing to me. It's one of the reasons why we came down here, to see with our own eyes what was going on. It's been a long time since I've been down here. Long time.
and other than the apologizing, she is quiet unless he asks her anything. And she's just following the group and sort of like being the one to talk to if either of them want to talk.
He's actually going to look at Rue as like your kind of face more forwards, and he looks at Rue and goes, and you, miss, who may you be?
Oh, my name is Rue. Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. That's a pretty savage scar you have there. Is that from a adventure of yours?
No, I guess you could say it's my first adventure.
Oh?
Sorry, I'm not feeling very talky right now.
Oh, I love Rue.
And she kind of like inches away. She's just kind of darting her eyes. So like, yeah. But nice to talk.
You see, he looks legitimately baffled for a second. Just kind of like looking at you as they're walking. He's just like, He's like just looking at you, confused. Before he just you notice that his eyes flicker to yours for a second, seeming to linger on your eyes for a second before it flickers off, and he goes, "No worries, no problem at all. It's especially given the situation, I imagine nerves are high, and pleasantries aren't as common as they were."
I mean, it's hard to know when you don't have many thoughts of what to do, really. So it's okay.
Well said. Yes.
Hello. She keeps moving.
And then Nia like tilts over and says, "Her mind is a little bit touched, sir."
Ah, I see. I assume from the scar.
That too.
That too. She says, "I only know bits and pieces, sir, but I am not totally sure. But it does not affect her combat ability."
Well, I'm glad for that. It would be difficult if we were. I don't know how to say that in a pleasant way. I don't mean it in a mean way.
Oh no, I'm totally awesome. It's okay.
I'm sure you are. As you all walk further forwards, you guys weirdly don't hear a lot coming out of here. But as you guys are walking forwards, there is another glow happening. Galmore and Cyril are the first ones to notice this, of course. Is a purple glow rather than green that you guys have been so used to from the bioluminescence. This one is a deep, thick purple that is slowly kind of just in front of you guys.
Yalmar's going to put an arm out as if to indicate that there's something, or as in to indicate of slow down. Let's take a quick look first. Reaching for his great axe as he peers around the area to see what the source is and to try and assess where the Yuan-Ti or otherwise are hanging out. I assume this glows from the ritual.
It does not, interestingly enough. As you look in, kind of looking around the area, you see that it's about 10-foot wide. I guess the best way of saying it is platform, but it's a 10-foot wide thing of stone that leads all the way forwards, about 100, 150 feet, roughly from what you can tell. Might be a little bit further, might be a little bit shorter. But it's a long path. And on both sides of this path is about a 15-foot drop. And in that drop are various puddles of a strange purple liquid. This strange purple liquid is emitting a purple glow that is kind of filling the air immediately around it and glowing all the way up towards you guys. And you guys can see a wispy mist in front of you as well. You guys can also see just around the area, either in the walls or some even on the bottom of the area, are various serpentine statues, either actual spider or actual snakes, or they are Yuan-Tis. Some of them even are like full human form, but they're pretty much everywhere, frozen in various striking poses. They seem very almost lifelike, but they are definitely solid stone.
Detect poison.
I
Feel
was
free.
going to say, if nobody else does something like that, I'm going to be questioning the. I'm going to be questioning the followers if this is normal.
Yeah,
Like,
feel
I'm
almost
fairly
free.
certain it's
too
not. But,
lifelike.
I mean, I'd imagine as soon as I see that there's no one present, I probably would let them at least pass by and take a look.
But yeah, feel free to use detect poison if you'd like.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What kind
30
of
foot-
check is it to check the to like see if the statues are carved or if they were made some other way.
General perception.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I'm
Uh,
assuming we're a fair distance away.
Yeah, from your detect poison, you can tell that the mist itself is not inherently poisonous. Probably if you had a significant quantity of it in your lungs, it would probably be bad, as most things are. But the liquid itself down below, which there's a fairly large amount, is definitely poisonous. If you fall into there, it will not be good for you. It's not, doesn't look like it's corrosive, but it's definitely some kind of poison.
Ania will whisper inform the group that the
Mhm.
air here isn't the best, but it's not going to be an issue unless you breathe a lot of it in over time. Do not fall in the liquid. Do not touch it. It is very bad.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Where's the drop, you said?
About 15 feet.
Damn. I want to dip my arrows in it.
Ooh, that'd be
You
I
you
mean,
could
if someone
try
has
climbing
mage hand-
down.
I mean, if somebody has mage hand,
Just tie a
Fine.
rope to a bunch of them.
I've
I have
considered
rope.
getting.
I can either tie it to myself and have you guys hang on, and I could just dip it in.
Oh my gosh,
Or-
that sounds so scary.
No, no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
you could probably tie it to Gelmar. He's probably the heaviest member of the party.
Yeah.
Couldn't you tie an arrow to a rope and just lower it down or something?
Yeah, that's
If
what
you-
I was
what are we
talking
doing?
about.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah, but I want to dip them like a lot of them because I don't want just
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, just tie a bundle of them up. It's a lot easier to tie a bundle than just to tie one arrow to a rope.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
You would probably be able to tie about 10 of them in a bundle if you wanted to.
Not 15.
No, do you have 15 extra?
I have 30 total arrows.
Oh, in that case, yeah, you can do 15. I like the number 15.
Okay. I tie half of them up and dip them in the poison.
Cool. It takes you a minute to wrap the rope around them, make it tight enough that the arrows definitely won't fall. You do see not Ervon, Kieran like looking at you with legitimate curiosity, and like he's like leaning like over Ania's shoulder, and he's like looking at you with like both interest and just general curiosity as you're doing it. And you manage to dip in there. As you're doing so, all 6 of you roll me perception. Interesting. Ooh. Very interesting.
Oh,
Okay. These are very interesting rolls.
I am super observant.
The
Heck
most
yeah,
observant
Cyril.
rolls I've ever seen. This session started out wild and is managed to constrain itself a little bit. All right, so from Dakota, or no, from Cyril. Yes, from Cyril, you have 7, 16, 16, 15. Oh, sorry, that's Cyril's is 2.
Yeah.
So 16, 16, 15, 2, 8, and 10. So everyone who rolled below, actually, yeah, everyone but Rue and Ania. As you guys are looking around, and this is also true for Sapphire, as you guys are like looking around and Sapphire's trying to dip her arrows, you guys are hearing a significant amount of hissing around you. You guys can see the as the mist moves over the statues, the mist takes forms of them, and every now and again they'll like move forwards and then dissipate, and they'll like hiss, or they'll pull out like imaginary arrows, if that makes sense, like mist arrows. One of them even shoots one at Sapphire, but it dissipates long before it gets to her. Very, very weird misty stuff going on. The other two, Rue and Ania, you two are definitely seeing everyone's reactions, I would assume. But you would also, more importantly, notice the door at the end of the room. Is a heavy duty door that looks like it has very strange combination of stuff, but you can't quite tell from this distance. but it is solid metal and it seems somewhat complicated. You guys aren't seeing the mist do weird shit, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You're just seeing them kind of react to the weird shit you missed.
Hmm.
What are you guys looking at?
You mean you don't see that?
No, you're kind of looking everywhere.
I'm not sure what you're looking at either.
Almost seems.
Misty beans.
Where?
Is the mist materializing as entities? He says,
What?
slowly reaching for his great axe.
Right, that's what I'm seeing.
Oh.
No.
I'm not sure if this is an illusion or if this is a very elaborate trap.
I'm pretty sure. I think
Both.
you're only seeing it.
She'll look to the high elves.
Eravon just he has his sword in hand, but he looks left and right and he's like, it's mist. Are you all Kira is just like, I see mist, I see statues. They're very strange place statues, and especially ones at the bottom. The fact they haven't broken is an odd placement for them, but it's just mist. Might be flammable. Don't light anything on fire in here. It could end badly, assuming this mist is some kind of flammable gas.
It's like some kind of gas light. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Well, it is slightly poisonous. Maybe it's hallucinogenic.
You already said we need to be making our way through this quickly. Do not dally. He says, looking
Wouldn't
around,
it be
trying
the
to find
first
some sort of
Thing I've
path.
seen but isn't there.
What was that?
What'd you say?
Said it wouldn't be the first thing I've seen that isn't there.
Yeah, you're still see like Bill is currently swimming in
Oh.
the pool below you. And
Oh,
you dip
hey,
your
Matt.
arrows in. Yeah.
Yeah, he was scouting.
Out ahead.
Yeah, you just see Bill like swimming in the pool under you, Sapphire.
Where have you been?
Yeah, you see him like look up and he goes, I'm taking a bath.
And poison, but okay.
Ask him if he's seen anything up ahead. Maybe he did.
Did you see anything up ahead? Or
Oh
were you too
yeah,
busy
yeah.
taking a
There's
bath?
statues in this room.
No shit.
And the room behind you, there's like a couple of elves, I think, and there's a couple of guards. You should definitely watch out for them. Yeah.
Really? You don't say.
Oh, and the door's fancy, I think. It might be a different door. No, I'm fairly confident this door is fancy. Like real fancy, I think. It's been a couple of dimensions, okay?
Sounds like about as helpful as Safari is.
I think less helpful.
But don't worry. I do know. I can tell you. Don't fuck up with the door. It ends badly. Watched a couple people do that. It ended real bad.
Don't
think.
fuck up with the door. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he just disappears.
Is it like a narrow, slick path that's ahead of
It's like
us?
10 feet across from left to right, and it's like from what you can tell, a little under probably 200 feet or so. Doesn't seem super slick. It just seems like normal stone. But you're not 100% sure.
Oh, okay. I could now. You could catch rituals. You have to have it prepared, can't you?
Mhm. Yeah.
That face.
Any weird reactions from the high elves?
Now, you talking to
talking to
yourself?
Bill?
Not in the slightest.
They don't even bat an eye.
They've resigned
Um,
themselves to the fact that this is not a normal party of people.
After
They just think we're
Kieran tried talking to Rue, anything y'all do, he's just like going with.
Ania's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
keep
this
an
is totally normal.
Hi, MB.
Hi. Nia's going to keep an eye on the path, namely everyone's feet, and she is going to ready mold earth in case something happens.
Ooh, fancy.
I'm
Thanks for
gonna
that,
keep an
Grayson.
eye out for this said door
It's
Mhm.
right ahead of us.
Yep. You can vaguely see it at this distance, just from the ambient light around you guys, but you guys are going to start heading down this path. And as you guys do so, because it is about 9 o'clock or so, and I don't think I have ads starting for just a couple minutes, you guys are going to head down this path. I'm going to describe it just a little bit here. Assuming I can find the bit where I am. In the dim light, the chamber's features take on a surreal quality. The shadows dance along the corroded platforms. From the mushrooms around you, they're providing random lights. There are a few platforms that are just a little bit off the path, probably maybe 5-10 feet or so. They're dotted around the area. It seems like they used to be part of this one solid path, but probably over time they were degraded and eroded. But small mushrooms grow on them, providing some bioluminescence, but not a significant amount. The poison liquid that is all across the bottom of those gaps, shining somewhat brightly. But the shadows dance across them, and the occasional flicker of the venomous pools casts strange fleeting reflections upon the walls, casting an ever-shifting tapestry of light and shadow that spreads. And you all feel, I suppose, a deep concern in the back of your mind. As you guys are walking down this path, which won't take you a couple of minutes, it is harder to breathe down here. Not substantially, but it feels like there's a weight upon your back, like something's resting upon all of you, and it just gets thicker as you guys head towards this door. As you guys approach this door, which will be where we leave off, at the end of this area, it's a very large door, and it has a very strange looking lock on it. It looks incredibly complex and doesn't even seem to have a keyhole that can be picked. It seems to be, at least from what Gelmar can tell, probably dwarven crafted to some degree, based on the mystic symbols and various other bits and pieces across it. Ania can also tell it was almost certainly made with some kind of elven person around there. And Kieran also confirms this. It seems like there's a couple of things you could do to it. I will actually leave you guys to perform a single skill that you believe applies to the situation. One person can make this skill check. So I'll have you guys figure out which one, who wants to do what skill. It can be any skill that you have proficiency in. And you, by getting help from the team, can do a advantage roll for this. So keep that in mind. You guys will pick one person to do this. You guys will be doing this 3 times. So whatever your skills are that you think can apply to opening this door, let me know as the week progresses. And whoever is will roll their thing with a help bonus. So you guys will roll your thing with advantage. And you either succeed or not.
Okay.
But as to what will happen if you succeed or not, we shall see next week. So come on by next week at 6 p.m. PST if you guys want to see them tackle this door and see whether or not they can actually open the blasted thing, or if something very bad is going to happen. Or you guys can pop by tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST for the sister campaign King's Kindness. We're going to be playing with a whole bunch of folks, including Wazzy and Bunny, where we're going to be, I think they're going to be killing a necromancer tomorrow. So feel free to tune in for that if you guys are interested, or if you guys are not interested in that, but you want other D&D/TTRPG content, go check out Monday's episode of Re-Jump Chain Ruby Terminal Season, where we're going to be on the semi-final or final episode, we're not quite sure yet, of that entire series. Or if you just want to see some gameplay, come by on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, where I play various different games. I think actually Tuesday I'm doing a Just Chatting session with Ratty. So if you guys are interested in that, it's gonna be more D&D because I'm doing all kinds of D&D shit today. But it's gonna be a just chatting session with Reddy. I'm gonna post an announcement on it at some point here soon. But super exciting, gonna be super fun. Super intrigued to do that with all of you. And then of course Wednesday is going to be Plague Tale Requiem. Yes, is the I should pop up my screen. Plague Tale Requiem is going to be the game, and then Thursday we might be coming back to Stoneblock and see if we can get into some Project E. As always, if you guys have not seen this end screen before, go check out Storyestry. She's an absolute sweetheart and made this wonderful picture. Storyestry, there you are. And we're going to go ahead and find somebody to raid. If you guys have not done a raid with us before, feel free to copy that raid message as we pop over to somebody's chat. We're going to pop over to... Actually, well, I have not raided Envy yet. I'm going to raid Envy. She just started. So we're going to go ahead and raid Envy. If you guys have not seen her before, she's an absolute sweetheart. She's going to be playing Schedule 1 with Lissa. Absolutely fantastic. And she does have a very cute, adorable model, which you guys can also make her wear like pajama stuffs to make her have even more adorableness to her. So we're going to pop over to her, bug her a little bit, say hi, and just be spoopy people. All right, hopefully you guys had a wonderful time. We appreciate all of you for being here, and we will see all of you fine folks next week at 6 p.m. PST. Bye!
Bye.
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 Ba-da-boop. And